What it is, kings and queens. It's another episode of the Plugged In Podcast. It's your boy, King Ace. We got your boy E, your boy Biggs, and we bring y'all another live one, fresh one, roll one, pull one, all that. Let's get it. What's good, guys?
We got a plug in the building.
What's good?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We got a plug. We got a plug.
Yes,
20-year plug, actually.
Man, shit, longer than that.
Longer than that.
I can cuss, right?
Yeah.
Feel free.
It's been longer than 20 years, shit. Almost.
I got to give them an
25.
even number to let them know. But
25 that's an anniversary type number. You know what I'm saying? That's what. It don't even matter. We've known each other a long fucking time.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm going to go ahead and intro you. We got our boy Coach Sam Williams, fellow podcaster, classmate, friend of the show.
Yes.
Welcome, man. What's going on?
First of all, I'm honored to, I get a hand clap.
real applause,
Yes,
man.
indeed.
Real
You guys
applause.
really
Yeah.
know how to make somebody feel good. First of all, man, I'm honored to be here. Ace, that was a great introduction. I don't think
appreciate
I'll
it.
get one better than that. And if I
Appreciate
do, I won't tell you.
I can live with that. I can live with that.
But nah, I'm honored to be here. Like you all say, you know, we've known each other a very, very long time.
Way back.
And just to see what you guys are doing, to see that you all are still very close, and you thought enough of me to be a part of this, even for one episode, man. I'm greatly appreciative of that, man. So thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, sir, man. Welcome. It's
yes,
good to
sir.
have you.
Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. We go back talking about Prairie Hills days, man.
Man.
For the one time.
Prairie Hills Junior High, not even high school. Just
Man,
junior high.
junior high days.
Man,
I was in private school while y'all was going to Prairie Hills.
okay. And Clarence
Nigga, you
parents
from the
had a real
neighborhood.
good marriage.
Private school, sorry guys.
You from Markham, you
I
count.
wasn't even over there.
Yeah.
He was over there. But
Okay,
yeah,
well,
man.
fine. And this delayed ass nigga did, man. I ain't
So
I
y'all
met
is the
him 2
courthouse
years later.
kids.
He joined the cool kids later.
Courthouse
Courthouse
kids.
kids.
They call us
By the-
courthouse
by the
kids.
courthouse.
Courthouse kids.
Oh, nah.
Man.
Y'all right by the courthouse,
That shit was
by the
lit.
police station.
It was a great time.
We had a good time.
It was a great time.
But it's like, it's rare. Well, not rare, but like, you know, last guest we had was somebody, you know, you had a repertoire with. This guest, we all have a repertoire with growing up together. And just seeing us grow from children to men and see the journey you took being a mentor and a leader, especially in the baseball community.
I appreciate
And with me, you inspired me to get into this podcasting thing because I used to watch you, and when you were doing it and how you got into it and it inspired me. So I definitely want to give you your flowers while you here next to me, let
Oh,
you know
man, I
you
appreciate
definitely
it.
inspired me to get active on this thing. So it's just good to have you here and hopefully, you know, kick the shit with us. And
Oh, that's what I came
Yeah.
here to do, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I came here to do. Like I said, I'm a fan of the show, and you know, I appreciate those words. I really do. You don't know you don't know who you're touching and who you inspiring when you actually get to doing it. You know, just a little background. So I am one half of the Beards and White Toes podcast.
Yeah.
Hosted with my one of the best podcasts and one of the best hosts ever, Miss Kimberly with a Y. She is definitely the better half of the Beards and White Toes. She made it go, and just hearing what you said, man, I'm nothing. Our show is, like I said, I'm just one half of that. So I got to make sure that she knows that, you know, she's gonna be watching, so she needs to know that, hey, listen,
Shout
getting
out.
our
Shout out,
flowers,
Kim,
man.
yeah.
We getting our flowers, Kim. And it's also dope that, you know, I'm able to be in this space with y'all because when we first started our podcast, that shit was in my home office. I had a table, mic. Me and her were sharing a mic, and we had the laptop, and that's just how we got going. So,
Yeah.
you know, to see where it took us, you guys are already on a great start. And it can only go up from here, and it will because, again, it's a great show. And I'm just very happy to be here because this is y'all doing something with this.
Appreciate it, man.
for
Appreciate
real.
that.
I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it. I always appreciate homegrown podcast because, you know, you see the other ones that's out there that's bigger or whatever, and it's just like the intimate vibe. Like you said, when you first walked in, he was like, oh, it's cozy.
Yeah, it's
This
cozy
setup.
as a motherfucker. Y'all
Yeah.
got look. I will tell you this. This is an Airbnb host dream. You got a lot of colorful shit in here. These pillows. Look, man.
Appreciate it.
We'll talk about this off air, but I got a funny story about a nigga and some Airbnb, and we all know this person, but we won't talk about it on
I
camera.
might know what you
That's
talking
how-
about.
that's-
Low key.
Yeah, look,
Low
you
key.
probably do.
We'll talk about
Did
it.
the motherfucker come to your house?
No.
He came to mine.
He just
And-
knew where you
and-
lived.
Well,
We can't.
All right.
Hold on. Alright.
Yo, but
we'll
yeah.
talk about it off air.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say before we get into it, you in our world. So how we usually start is we we'll say what we're thankful for the week. So we're gonna kick it off this
Go
time.
ahead, kick it off,
Go
man.
ahead. All right. So what I'm thankful for this week is community.
Okay.
Now I be coming up with these one words or whatever, but what I thought about it when these strikers went on work, when these workers went on strike, the dock workers, I had to step up as the as one of the men of the household, just check on the women folk, cousins I probably ain't reached out to, just make sure everybody had water and tissue, even though it probably wasn't the time, not to panic, but just check on your family and your loved ones. So just if you don't get the community, be the community type thing. So I just reached out, called some of the older folks, see what they needed. So I'm thankful for community because if you can't be the help, if you can't have the help, be the help, and it'll work out for you in the end. So that's what I'm on.
Dope.
I'll jump in there. I was going to say, we were talking before the podcast about health and everything. I just feel thankful just to have, like, friends that are starting to become more health conscious and starting to, like, really band together on, like, getting their body and mind right. Hopefully their spirit right, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's the main thing I'm thankful for. Just
Some
everybody.
soul searching.
Yeah, everybody people trying to do better. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
People trying to do better.
Yeah, no, that's dope. Evolution growth. I would say I'm thankful for camaraderie right here. Just the ability to be able to connect. So many times we all in our little bubbles in our life, adulting, dealing with our different shit. So the ability to just connect and to be open. I was gonna say I appreciate you when we did talk, just even online. You was like quick to just hop on that call, drop some gems, give me some knowledge. You know what I mean? Especially when it pertains to the podcast, and so I appreciate that.
No problem.
And that is that camaraderie that it's like I would love to see it more just in our community.
Each one teach one.
Each
man.
one teach one.
It's
So
was in
not
my head.
hard.
Yep.
One thing about it is we done got into a space in the world where we forgot how to be nice to each other.
Man,
And
talk about it.
we were talking about this, Kim and I. We were talking about this recently. Unfortunately, we took a lot of casualties during COVID.
Yeah.
But for those 2-3 months up until that shit that happened with George Floyd and the rioting and all of that shit, when all hell literally broke loose, the world was cool for a while. Everybody was nice to each other.
Yeah.
Everybody was show concern, and we were appreciative of living because this is a legit pandemic. One cough, you don't know if it's just a regular cough or if this is a COVID cough. I mean, those COVID coughs, some people didn't make it from it. But for that time, everybody was super grateful, man. Like, I became friends with people that I knew my whole life, and through the pandemic, I got closer to people.
Yeah.
Shout out to Thirst.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
My boy
yeah.
Jonathan
Shout out
Nunn, I
Thirst.
got closer to him during
Shout
that
out
time.
Thirst, man.
Yeah, shout out there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, from just that time being cool with him, it led to me being able to help him out. He got a talented brother. Shout out to his brother Juice Maisley, who came on our show and performed.
Nice.
So I feel like what you're saying in regards to camaraderie, I can appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and what I did for you, that's a part of that.
Yeah.
Like I told you all, y'all are my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be fanned out for my friends. I don't, it's easy to get fanned out for people who you don't know. But when it's your homies that you grown up with, to see them in the light that they're in, like I said, I'm super happy to be here. Like, I made sure that no matter what happened throughout this day, I had to be here.
Yeah.
Because again, I support what you guys are doing, and I'm super honored to be here.
You was early, man. He was
Yeah.
early. I said, okay. He says. He says.
Oh man, look, man, y'all invited me to this, man. I don't know nobody like a tardy nigga. I don't look. This is y'all. Though this is some me kicking it with the homies. Like, nah, this is work. You don't show up late
appreciate
for your job. At least you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, so I ain't gonna. I've never shown up late for my friends. So rather to be the first one here and the last one to leave if need be. That's just how it go.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Yes, sir.
Show
Yes,
by
sir.
action. Yeah, that's a leader. Traits of a good leader. Speaking of which, you're part of the black. You gave me the acronym.
Black Baseball Media.
Black Baseball
BBM.
Media. Yeah, BBM.
So I'm okay. So I'll segue into that. So I guess it's my turn to talk about what I'm grateful for.
Yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm grateful for opportunity. You know, a lot of us, y'all know me. I was an athlete. I played baseball. That was my sport. And my baseball career didn't end the way that I thought it would, the way that I would have liked to because I got hurt. And so once I finished playing ball, I was one of those bitter athletes, you know, still talking about my shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And then I got into coaching at Hillcrest of all places. I turned down an opportunity to coach at a winning program to take over at Hillcrest. And I'm not the head coach, I'm just the assistant. But I had an opportunity to either take the easy way or the hard way. And knowing where I come from, knowing all of the guys that we know that came through that football program. I played football for 2 years under Ernie Sutton. Shout out to Coach Sutton. And if y'all have never been to On the 9 on 159th and Pulaski,
I'm gonna stop by one of these
y'all
days.
should check it out. It's a really dope venue, and he's one of those adults that we saw. He may have been tough as a coach, but he cared about his kids, and he still know all of us by name, and that's huge. And that's somebody I aspire to be like. But again, I could have taken that easy route and went to this other high school, but I took the hard route. The easy way is the hard way. That's what he used to always tell us. And me taking that opportunity led to other things. It led to me getting into the game again. And now looking at it from like, all right, maybe my career didn't end. I just took a break because I needed to learn some stuff. Because in order to be a leader of men, you got to be able to go through things so you can go ahead and teach.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that led to the next opportunity. Me going to networking with these other coaches, which the Black Baseball Media was that avenue for me. And so I hung around, got a chance to involve myself a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, felt a little awkward because when you join into something brand new and you're by yourself, and even if you don't come in by yourself, you're still by yourself because they're already a tight-knit group.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out a way to ingratiate yourself into that group. And it took me a while to adjust. But I knew there was one thing that I had in common with all of them guys. It's baseball.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like I tell my players, it's just baseball. You feel me? And, of course, when I see something that can be improved, got to speak on it. Something that can make you guys elevate. So you can't call yourself Black Baseball Media and you not have real live footage or you can't have correspondence. Yeah, they got one of the best play-by-play voices, and he is a huge baseball guy. Shout out to my boy Booker Hatchet, a.k.a. The Voice. But he one man.
Yeah.
Every good play-by-play has a good color commentary right next to him.
Yeah.
And I found an opportunity, and I took it. I presented it. And I presented it after I saw and took the opportunity. I was on my way to Detroit. Well, there's a story behind that, but we won't talk about that. Not on this episode, at least. But I went to Detroit this past May. And it was my opportunity to say, all right, you came 4 hours to work, but you're not really working because you're around the game. Everything that you've done has led up to this point. Now, what you gonna do? You gonna fold, or you gonna get to work? Do what you gotta do, and just throw the dart at the wall. Hopefully, you hit a bullseye, but at least land on the board. If you land on the board, you got a chance. Next thing you know, I'm over here, what was that, 2 nights ago? Black Baseball Media has a classic. It's called the Black Baseball Chicago Classic. It's going to be at Ozinga, April 12th. I have the responsibility of doing a main event for that weekend. And so when I talk about opportunity,
That's dope.
I look at it not just for the task that's in front of me. I look at everything that led up to it. Mm-hmm. I look at the podcast, the start of it. I look at my journey in baseball. We don't win a lot of Hillcrest, but we do win a lot with my Charles travel team. Shout out to them. We're three. Yeah, we're in a spot right now where we can actually go ahead and win some shit. So shout out to my guys. But coaching and teaching and being able to live out my dream and surpass my fears of people and opportunity.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm grateful for it, because now everything that I've ever wanted to do, I'm not looking at my opportunity as being denied. It was delayed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm here now, and I'm making the most of it. And this is the first time I've actually shared this. And so, you know, I'm like I told you all, when you all are, and this is for anybody that's listening to this show and watching this show, whenever you have an idea, express it. Whenever you feel as if though you have a bright idea, talk about it. Write it down. Because one thing we have to stop doing as creatives, because we all have the ability to create something, is that we have to learn to not put barriers up in front of ourselves and tell ourselves that we're not able. And more importantly, you never let anybody tell you whatever you're trying to do, never let them call it little.
Yeah.
Because no idea is little. No, anything that you think of is yours. You own it. You don't let anybody tear it down. You don't let anybody put a title on it that you don't approve of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that shit leads to discouragement, and it leads to people failing in their minds because this person said this to me. And I'm telling you this because this has really happened to me. This is why some of the things that I've done prior to this didn't work, because I let somebody take power from me. And so once I snatched my power back, the opportunities came, and I didn't turn down one. And sometimes I ask myself if it's too much, and then I go to sleep the next morning, and I just get to work because this is everything I ever asked for. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm like, okay, bet. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. You're going to have some tough days probably, but at the same time, and just say, fuck it, you here. This is what you asked for. So yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. I mean to get all like long-winded, but this is a safe space.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get that off.
And it's not even
For a black man by black man. Yeah,
Yes,
get
indeed.
it out, King.
But it's like, I know there's people out here that need to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't imagine where I would be 3 or 4 years ago if I heard what I just said to somebody else. I had a kid 2 years ago when I met him who told me, and I'm grateful for his opportunity that he just got. This boy had a 2.8 GPA as after his sophomore year. Mm-hmm. We sat down. I taught him how to goal set. We came up with 2 different types of goals, academic and athletic. But his academic had to outweigh everything.
Yeah.
I said, if you can get this grade up, your GPA up to at least a 3.75, you can go anywhere. Mm-hmm. You can go anywhere. That boy got a 3.8 right now.
Mm.
Yeah.
And just got his first offer.
Dope. That's huge.
Repurposing and
That's
affecting
huge.
change.
And
that's crazy.
Impacting.
So my thing is, be the person you need. Be the person you needed at that age, or whatever journey you going through. Be the person that you need for somebody else.
Yeah.
And we don't know how far we can go. And that's why I said originally, when the world was much nicer to each other, we had way more shit going on. So I'm just trying to do my part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so there's that. So I'm grateful for opportunity for not just myself, but my players. I'm grateful for the future opportunities that this is going to provide for you all, because they're coming. Because y'all deserve it. Y'all some good dudes.
Say that then.
Listen, I'm
Hey,
manifesting.
I receive it.
Listen, I'm manifesting that with y'all.
Yes,
Because y'all,
indeed.
like I said, if I'm going to be fanned out over anybody, I'm going to be fanned out over my friends.
Yeah.
Because I know y'all.
Yeah.
And I've seen where y'all come from. I know y'all stories, whether I heard them from you or through rumor or whatever, but I know y'all. And so for me to see where you guys have progressed, this is me paying it forward by giving you y'all flowers.
Yes, sir.
Because y'all gonna go through this shit and y'all gonna look back and say, damn, we've come a long way, because you still gonna be doing it. Because you got a good, this is a great fucking show.
I appreciate
so there's
it,
that,
man.
man.
Thank you.
No problem, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, one thing you said, I could appreciate your perspective when you say like the opportunities, because as you say, you look back, and it's like you learned the lessons from it. You know what I mean? So many times we could look at like all our little trials and tribulations, especially when you're in them, right? It's like, damn, this a loss, or damn, this setback. Like you said, it was just delayed. So just having that perspective on like, oh, that's just a lesson. That just set me up to teach or whatever. That perspective is dope to have, man.
But see, here's the thing: you don't know that's what that's turning into.
Yeah, and when you in it,
you just gotta
know.
go. So, you know, my pastor, when I was going to church, he said something. Hey, look, he said something that was very profound.
Yeah.
There's 3 different types of people in the world, and we're gonna be all 3 of them at some point. You're going to be somebody that's going through something, coming out of something, or about to go through something. We don't know how long we're going to be in that part of the cycle.
Yep.
We just got to get through it. That's how it was for me.
Yeah.
You know, excuse me, when you go through so many different things, so many different changes, you don't know the positive impact on it because you're only seeing what's happening to you in that moment. But you don't know how this is going to set you up later.
Yeah.
I didn't realize me tearing my knee up and me not being able to play baseball beyond a couple weeks of college maybe, that it was going to turn into what it is today. I didn't see this far at 18, 19 years old. Hell, I didn't even see this far at 25, 26.
For real.
Yeah.
And then if we really want to keep it a bean, I didn't see this for myself 6 months ago. So that just lets you know how quickly things can change.
Yep.
But you also don't skip steps. And a part of not skipping steps, you got to go through that shit.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how, you want to be able to experience the triumph of your victory. And whatever that victory is you going through, it can be shit. My homie, he came through with the equipment on time. It could be the most slightest shit, or it can be, man, I got this promotion in my job and it's about to change everything for me because I don't know when my lights was going to get paid. I didn't know when my next meal was coming because I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck type shit. You know, so you got to understand that type of pain or that type of fear, if that's what you want to call it, so you can experience victory. That's why when our favorite teams win championships, we went through that with them as fans, right? When they lose, we talking shit. We need to get a new quarterback. We got to get a new coach or whatever the case. But when they win, we got a chance every week. That's life. That's life. Life going to have its peaks and valleys. It's going to have its ups and downs. But you remember the victories. But you also remember some of those. You don't remember all the losses. I lost a lot. I've lost a lot of games. But I've also won a lot of games. I've lost a lot of things in my life. But I've also gained a lot. You know, so you have to treat everything as if whenever that opportunity comes, how you gonna handle it? You gonna stand on it, or you gonna sit here? You gonna be scared of it? And for a long time, I was scared.
Something that boy didn't evolve. That boy didn't grow up.
Man, I'm talking about.
You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what really grew me up. Being around them kids. Being around them kids, man. Like I said, you got to be the person that you needed. And I had great mentors growing up. So I knew the formula on how to build it because all of the men that I grew up with, including y'all, we all had great men in our lives. So a lot of these kids that I deal with don't have dads at home. I have to be sensitive to that. So I have to be dad sometime. That's why before the show, I had to take that text. When I see who it's from, I have to stop what I'm doing because I don't know what type of text or call I'm going to get. I got a good text. He just told me that, you know, he had a great game and Hillcrest won. Shout out to them Hawks. They won 4 in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Hawks.
Shout out to them guys.
Shout out to the Hawks.
But hearing, you know, making sure that my kids, knowing that they feel comfortable enough to text me, you know, knowing that they feel comfortable enough to text me, that tells me a lot about what I'm doing. You feel me? So they forced me to get into this space. The baseball stuff, that was secondary. But if it wasn't for those kids, I wouldn't be in none of this shit right now.
And that speaks volumes that they feel comfortable to be able to come to you and speak to you
to
like a safe space. Something that you said that I just feel is critical. You talk about like fear and just getting past it. That's something that a lesson for me that I've learned is just that it just resonates with me is once you go through that fear in your life or that opportunity, that uncertainty, that whatever, you're trying to get to that next blessing, that next level, whatever it may be, that learning that lesson that when you feel that, you got to lean into it a little bit all the way. You can't even half step it because literally in my life when I've had that, it's been a blessing on the other side of that every time. But it be so scared, it's like all your instincts telling you like, it's scary, it could fail, it could whatever, like that fear of failing or not working out or people being like, I knew it wasn't going to work. But once you lean into that and you go, it'd be a blessing. And if it ain't the blessing you thought, it'd be at least a lesson to do better for the next time. Like, you know.
But that's why I said, go ahead, Ethan.
I was going to say, I don't know if y'all would go through this, but one thing I went through, like, when you're in a position of, like, leadership, right? Or, like, getting in that position for the first time, like, y'all get, like, this imposter syndrome where, like, y'all feel like y'all don't quite belong. Like, y'all, like, maybe y'all shouldn't be where y'all are at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's kind of, like, hard to, like, get over that and, like, kind of believe in yourself to the point where you can do the job or do what you were praying to get. You know?
It go right hand in hand what I was just saying. Definitely, I felt that before. You get to that new level and you like start doubting, like, am I supposed to be here? Or other people seem so much more comfortable
in that position.
There, like you said, you have to almost ingratiate yourself. Where it's like, wait, what? I'm the oddball out. But that's learning, going through my experiences. Like, nah, you look like you said, you look back. Nah, I put that work in.
Right.
Nah, I showed up every day.
I earned this
good
shit.
and bad. I'm supposed to be here.
I
like,
deserve this shit.
Yeah.
And that's critical to your success.
Yeah.
The first person that you have to sell your idea to is yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta sell that shit
to it.
You gotta sell that shit to you. It don't matter if the world don't believe in it today.
Yep.
They'll believe in it at some point, but if you stand on what you believe in, and as long as that you are seeing positive results, then the shit gonna work for you. Yep. You know, the shit gonna work long term as long as you stay consistent. Yep. But you also gotta make sure that you stay a good person. And even if it's a facade, you know, we see a lot of people who we see with a lot of wealth. We see people who, you know, in some sense, they run their they run whatever their niche is, right? Whether it's fashion, it's automobiles, whatever the case is. We see on one side. But the people who stay truly blessed, that stay out of the trouble, out of the light, those are the ones that are just genuinely good people. We know some. I know one personally, and we went to school with him. Yeah. And I'm not gonna put him out there like that because, you know, if you know, you know. But he never changed. You know what I'm saying? The man never changed. He's the same person he was from when we were growing up. And now he's just a millionaire. But he's the same person. You wouldn't even know it because he don't carry himself like that. Yeah. And that's why he's blessed. Yeah. You know, I feel like when people, and we're starting to see it now in the world, people who just were shit people, you watching their empires crumble.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Revealing themselves.
And you seeing people who's always been good people, who's been thriving. Now it's their time to. This is their opportunity to shine. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to understand when we're going into whatever it is we're trying to do, we have to pace ourselves and we have to not treat this shit like a race. We got to, not like a sprint. We got to treat it like a marathon.
It's a marathon.
There's a lot of times where you're going to get tired. There's going to be some uphill battles. It's going to be some shit that's going to just try to distract you from what you're trying to do. Okay, go through what you're going through and get right back to it. Yep. And if it happens on a Friday, then take the weekend, get yourself dusted off, go have some fun for a minute, because guess what? Your problem's going to be there on Monday. Yep. And you figure it out then. But don't stop living and don't stop dreaming. Keep doing what you're supposed to do or what you want to do. And like I said, if you sell that shit to yourself first, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to convince enough people to buy into what you believe in. Yep. That's why you have successful coaches. That's why you have thriving Fortune 500 companies. That's why you have school districts whose children and their students are graduating at high levels and they're going off to college. because they understand what the mission is and they understand how to reach those people that they need to be successful. Because when they win, the person in charge wins, and the win for that person, nobody feels better about a win than the owner, because now you've seen a return on your full investment.
Yeah.
And that's creativity.
Yeah, I look forward to in the future hearing about the Hawks being one of the best programs in the area.
Yeah, man.
And you being a big part of that, because the way you speaking right now got me inspired. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm about to take over the world right now. So
It's real talk, though, man.
Got me in my deep bag.
Listen, man. We won't talk about it.
No, we gonna wait. No,
okay.
man.
If you want to get into it, we can talk about it. I would just be brief.
Put the wins in the atmosphere.
One thing about Hillcrest, and here's why I always appreciate my opportunity with coaching Hillcrest High School. Hillcrest has given me everything. Okay, when I say everything, they've given me everything. They've given me my friends. They've given me my high school degree. No matter how it may look on the outside to some people, Hillcrest is where I'm from. That's them hallways. My feet done been on every part of the old building and the new part. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly, that community, I'm indebted to them. I tell the kids all the time, if you ask any player that played here, and what you ask them, and it could be a student too, asking what their version of the Hawk Way is, and mine is simple. It's alma mater, it's community, and it's family. And all three go hand in hand. My kids finally understand what that means. When we're on that practice field and we got people hitting the horn at us, they not hitting the horn at us because we got a foul ball. They trying to make sure we don't hit the ball and they hit their car. No, they're saying, hey, we support you because these people believe in what I'm telling them about this program. We've won 3 games in 2 years. And the highlight of my coaching career at Hillcrest just happened 2 days ago when one of our top players who has done everything right, I had to speak on his behalf to a coach, and that led to that boy getting a scholarship.
That scholarship,
Dope.
All because he listened.
Yeah.
He listened to my shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And I made sure that my life lessons were teachable moments for him. And it paid off for him. I didn't get that scholarship because I didn't have anybody, in my opinion, that spoke up for me like that. And I know what in that time, what opportunity would have done for me, and the opportunity I had, I wasn't prepared for it because it was last minute, it was sudden, and I have time to process it. But he had 2 years. And so I made sure that no matter what I did at that school, them kids knew that people cared about them in that community, and I needed those kids to know that somebody that was a black man had their best interests at heart, no matter what it was. It can be, Coach, I need like $10 to eat. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything like that. Coach, I need a ride home. When that boy got killed, rest in peace to Marshawn, and he got killed last year at homecoming. It happened on our school campus during the homecoming game. And the first thing that all of us adult men did was find the nearest kid to shield. In that moment, I realized that this is where I'm supposed to be. Because I was willing to die for them kids. That's how you know where home is, because you protecting your home. And those kids mean so much to me. And that's why I make sure I speak so highly of the school, because we get such a bad rap. We've always had that. But that's only because we're a predominantly black school, and black schools don't get the type of respect that they should. Because there are good people that are in those schools that are teaching. There are good people who are in that school who are trying to help these kids get to the next level. And because people want to make these false narratives and all these claims about the kids, no, they react to how you treat them. That's the problem. That you can't treat these kids like they're less than. And I never did that. I've never once done that to any of those kids. And that's why those kids are becoming successful. Because they see somebody that actually cares about them. We have a decent coaching staff. I care about those guys a lot. And we try really hard. And we're not a program that wins on the field. But I guarantee you this, all my kids graduate. All my kids have gone on to do something positive, whether they're in college or in trade school. None of my kids are out causing any trouble once they graduate. They may be knuckleheads in class, and I straighten that out. But every kid needs that. Because we're not perfect. We're growing. And we have to start treating these kids like that. And that's what I made sure I did. I made sure that I was able to help them kids out in regards to just figuring this life shit out. Life hard as it is as an adult, it shouldn't be hard for you as a kid.
That's real shit. That's real shit. And that's, like you said, reach one, teach one.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, we go back friends, but that's why we want to have you on here, because that's the plug. That's people living under God, treating your neighbor like you want to be treated. Mm-hmm. You speaking to, like, you know, the good people out there that they may not have it all at the beginning. It's a marathon. Mm-hmm. But that come back around, what you want to call it, karma, whatever it may be, but
it's whatever.
You reap what you sow, basically. Mm-hmm. So it's good to hear that's where your mindset at, and that the positive impact it's having on the community.
You can never downplay like the importance of like leading children, leading the youth.
Yeah,
like, how big a part you play in their development for sure.
Affecting change.
It's the future. That's
There was a moment that I had coaching Hillcrest. It was my first season ever. And it was like our 10th game of the season. And I had a really, really, really low moment in coaching. It was the one and only time I did it. I called Kyran Weaver, the head football coach of the baseball. He's the reason I'm coaching at Hillcrest. If nobody knew that, Kyran Weaver is the reason I'm at Hillcrest right now. Shout out to him. Wow. He told me no matter what happens as a coach, you always have to be a mentor to young black men. Mm-hmm. And that changed everything for me. It changed my coaching style. It changed my approach to how I live my life. It changed everything because it just made all the sense in the world. These kids don't need to be berated because they're not good at something. They're at least trying. Yeah, us as coaches, we're in the business of winning at the high school level. And in some cases, tribal teams are as well. But when you're in the business of winning, you only have those 3 months. But when you are in the business of, you know, building character, you have to see past that shit. Because, yeah, you knew what you were signing up for when you took this job. Mm-hmm. You knew that this program was going to take a whole lot of work. And depending on how you look at it, this is a definite fixer-upper. And in some cases, some people may say you might have to tear this motherfucker down and start over. But if you're willing to stand back and watch this shit grow, I guarantee you this going to be worth something one day. But how much are you willing to invest? And I got my first payback on my investment 2 days ago. Yeah. So it just lets you know when you do the work, there are benefits on the other side. That's why opportunities happen. And then I feel like with those opportunities that we talked about, those are a part of your story. Mm-hmm. That's the next chapter of your story. If you want to start that chapter, or you can keep doing whatever it was if it satisfies you. And you know, some people they enjoy chaos. Yeah. So they never grow. That's
Masters
why we
of chaos.
Masters of That's why we just talked about, you know, we spoke on just growth and maturity. Mm-hmm. You know, we're in our mid-30s, and some people may say our late 30s, whatever.
Somebody told me knocking on 40 today.
Somebody told me you look
shut
good.
Your mouth.
This lady told me you look good for late 30s. I'm like, oh my god, late.
Y'all don't get called Unc.
You just said round
one
up.
Of my players calls me Unc, man, but he cool though, man.
It's respect.
But maturity is one of those things where, like I said, when you're in a growth mindset, mm-hmm. I think people have to understand the importance of that. Opportunity allows you to test that theory. Are you willing to take this chance? There was a study out there that I haven't confirmed it, but I've heard about it. Mm-hmm. Most people, and I'm sure y'all have heard about it too, when people apply for a job, if there's $100,000 offered for a position and $75,000, most people gonna take that $75,000. Ethan, you hoop. If you had people say you'll get $50 for a layup, $100 for a free throw, $500 for a three-pointer, and $10,000 for a half-court shot, most people gonna take the most reasonable, mm-hmm. just because it's a quick grab. It was never yours in the first place.
Right.
So why not take the $10,000 shot? Why not take the $100,000 job?
Yeah.
And all of our cases. Yeah. Why not go out here and create some dope ass content? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But you have to, once you get into that mindset of saying, all right, I'm strong enough to do this. I'm gonna do this right now. I'm not gonna wait till tomorrow. That's how you know you've officially done what you needed to do. Mm-hmm. Coaching Hillcrest has allowed me to become a head coach for another program, for a travel program. Coaching Hillcrest has allowed me to be a part of an organization that I can honestly say is going to be one of those trailblazers that you hear about in the next 5 to 7 years. And it's starting right here in Chicago. Yeah. And I'm a part of it. And I'm very fucking proud of that. Because like we said, we work hard. We put in the grind. I didn't skip any steps. Yeah. And I went on ahead and had a whole lot of hard days. I've been thrown out of games. I've cussed out people and said things that I probably shouldn't have said. And I felt very convicted in the moment when I said it. And I don't back down from a lot of it either. But it happened because I had to go through it so I know what that felt like the next time it happened or make sure it didn't happen again. Yeah. So, yeah, man, like...
Life is about a lot of learning, lessons in life. So I was going to ask you, because you had mentioned the reunion earlier. So going through that experience, what takeaways do you have from that experience this year? What do you want to see it go next year?
You talking about the Hillcrest all class?
The one that I missed.
You was there.
Oh, I was there. I was in it, bro. Listen,
it's our fault.
Yeah, I'm blaming y'all,
bruh.
Listen, I'm gonna speak to this, and I want people to understand the importance of what I'm about to say. We are not getting younger, and it is a blessing to get older. And I realize that, you know, these gray hairs that we're all walking around with, these are wisdom grays. We've seen some shit. We've gone through some shit. But we also still need to make sure that we come back for a moment. And so what I would like to see personally is to see my classmates, the same way 04 showed up for themselves, the same way 05 and 99 and all of them show up. I want us to be able to show up for each other like that. Whatever little stupid-ass beefs we had, let that shit go. Ain't nobody died. Nobody lost no money. And if you did, you'd have made the shit back 100 times over. Let bygones be bygones.
Ain't nobody got no real ops in the class.
Yeah, man.
I don't remember.
So if there's anything that I like to see, I just like to see more of the class of 2006.
Y'all real optimistic, and I agree in your sentiment. But if you crazy, stay your ass home. You know, I've seen some of y'all on Facebook. I don't know about that.
You talking about some of the? Okay, look.
Some crazy.
They are. My bad. I'm sorry. We ain't telling the truth today.
Nah, we telling the truth. I ain't on Facebook, so I don't know.
Mental health, right? Mental health is pretty important,
man, listen.
Right? Some of us have some mental health issues.
No, we do.
And
that's real. That's real.
And you know
what it is, you know?
Outside of what, I haven't even touched on this. Outside of the baseball stuff, Hillcrest has allowed me to get closer to my alums. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, HF, they do it. These city schools, they do it. Why can't we? And so I took opportunity using my platform. I go that word again. I took a chance and the opportunity to use my platform as a coach and say, look, I'm here. Y'all should come back to it. You'd be surprised on how many people up at Hillcrest that we know and that we walked them same halls with that came back. You know, Charles Dunner. Chuck.
Officer Chuck.
Chuck, he the police.
I saw him at Jewel. What up, Chuck?
Yeah. Shout out Chuck. Yeah.
But seeing him up there as a police officer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you never would have seen that for him graduating high school.
Wrestling and shit, yeah.
You know, it's a lot of Hillcrest guys up there, but, you know, I speak on him in particular because every time I see him at the school, we turn into high school kids again. And we start roasting them kids. We started talking about them kids.
He said, fuck them
they sensitive nowadays.
No, I'm just joking.
Say no jokes now.
Like just seeing, that would be something I would like, man. I just want to start seeing us come together. And it ain't even got to be at the reunion. We ain't even got to wait that long. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, just check in with each other. I know I've spoken to people on social media who've been going through bad times. I don't know why they chose to reach out to me, but for whatever reason, they did. And I hope whatever I said to them, it helped them get through whatever they was dealing with. We've had people that, you know, have been going through personal things, and there's they go on Facebook and they talk about it. I mean, I don't agree with always going on social media and telling your stories, but you just never know. Some of these people might be crying out for help.
It may be the only outlet.
Yeah, maybe they only outlet. So
And they don't know how to express it either.
yeah, so for
yeah.
so just check in with each other, man. Somebody probably going through some shit you've gone through, and you can kind of coach them through it. You know what I'm saying? So
That's wise words.
It is. That's why I was saying on the outro when I be doing it on the pod, it's just like, every day above ground is a good one.
it is.
Because sometimes we in our storm, it's like, man, this shit is the worst thing I ever been through. I don't know I'm gonna make it. You look back afterwards, you like, I was tripping.
I just want to say our 10-year reunion was lit. Even though everybody didn't
lit.
come out,
Shout out to the committee.
that cruise ship was lit.
It was overlit.
That was some last minute shit.
That last minute shit was lit.
It
a
was
blur.
definitely last
It was
minute.
a blur.
So I want to
I
see
don't
something
remember.
at
That's
least
a blur.
something at least that fun next year
So
or
what-
the next or with the
Yeah,
22
2
years.
years.
So what's
Yeah, 2 years.
y'all got any ideas?
I
If
ain't
y'all
in the
got
comments.
ideas,
see
put
how
them in the
other
comments.
y'all see
Put
how
them
the
in the
other
comments.
Any
other
ideas, put
classes
them in the
coming.
comments because
Send the DM.
yeah, send a DM, put them in the comments.
All I know is we need to make this shit a movie. Hand in hand.
Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
got all
mean-
these cameras. We gonna have to record something. And,
Might have to.
Might have to turn this into a movie.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all leave y'all kids at home. Leave y'all kids where they at. Hopefully nobody bring.
Shit.
At least for one night.
Yeah,
Y'all got to
just
be
leave
kids
one-
free
get
for
y'all
at least one
babysitter,
night.
just,
Y'all got two.
yeah.
Listen, I don't want to hear shit about. I'm gonna be busy that day because you don't even know what day.
Yeah, you don't know
so
what day
you
it
got
is.
plenty of time to
Yeah.
find a babysitter. You got plenty of time to put
Two-
your PTO
2
in.
whole years.
Man, look, all we need for y'all is to just make sure. Look, just one night, and then on top of that, man, just take this with you. And if we never see each other again, at least we all know that we got a chance to reconnect for at least one more night. You know what I'm saying? So bring y'all asses out. None of y'all are too good to show up and show out for each other, man. We did it back then. We can do it right now. Nobody's too busy. And if you need a little help, then reach out to somebody because somebody can probably point you in the direction and you might be able to get help from that person directly. I know it can't be me because I might call you.
Told you they be hitting you up. They like, Sam, a safe space.
I'm too safe. I do not need to be the keeper of y'all secrets, but I appreciate y'all thinking of me and shit.
As long as we don't end up at the Dalton,
St. Patrick's.
what's that?
St.
What's it called?
Patrick's,
What's it called? St. Patrick's.
Yeah, we gonna be over on the rooftop
On the
overlooking.
Dalton rooftop.
We're gonna be overlooking fucking Sibley.
Menards is decent though.
Y'all
Menards
trolling,
is
right?
decent.
They trolling,
Menards.
right?
Look, be sitting there drinking and shit. Talking about, I can't wait to hit that White
Y'all
House.
bet.
That light will be on the
You
damn
don't want to.
street.
You don't want to do it at Chug a Love.
Hey, Chug a little better though.
Yeah,
Chug
we
a little
over.
better.
Yeah, we overlooking. What's that? Halsted.
Halsted.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, it's historical street.
You got Halsted or you got
Yeah, we
Sibley.
look. Yeah,
It's a
man,
strong
you looking out the looking over the side. I remember when the bowling alley was right there. Oh man, I know who live over there.
Look
in
at
that block.
Popeyes. Look at Popeyes.
Look at Popeyes still
Hey,
hanging
Chug a
in.
Lug ain't that bad.
No, I like Chug-a-Lug,
Nah,
man.
it's a vibe.
I've
It's
never
cool.
been on the rooftop, but
Still
I
haven't been to the
A
rooftop.
rooftop on Halsted is diabolical.
They be there all day, every day though. They be at the
Yeah.
middle of the day.
I can appreciate that a place that's got good food. Hey, look, we don't need to. They need to be paying us for this.
Right,
shit.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to
Free section,
So
so.
yeah, look, let them host a show. Let them host a show at y'all venue or something. The way we club and y'all like. I like Chug-a-Lug though. It's a decent little spot, man. You can go ahead and mix it up if you want to go there, go on a date there, or if you want to kick it with the homies and go shoot pool or play darts or throw axes and shit.
Yeah.
The drinks are
Little
good,
mini
food's
bowling
decent.
ball.
Mini bowling.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you a place that y'all should go, and I don't even need their money or anything from them. Y'all shout out, reach out to the good folks at On the 9 on 159. Like I said, that's
Plugged
us.
in.
We
So
need
you,
to go up there.
so you mentioned Sutton earlier. Is he up there?
He the owner.
He
Owner.
own it.
Yeah.
He own it, bro. That's
He
why I
own
said-
the 9.
Yeah.
You said 159 for Pulaski?
Yeah.
I've never been.
Yeah,
So
right
a
next
lot
to
of
the
a lot
gas
of my
station.
older coworkers go up there. They
Man.
be up there every weekend.
Oh, it's definitely an auntie fest.
Hey, we
yeah,
up
I
there.
know a lot of them. They be
But
like,
it'd be a
bring your
but
young
it's-
ass out here.
But it'd be a
Like,
lot. But it'd be a nice, decent crowd of us. Oh, I'm gonna tell you somebody else who y'all need to support if y'all haven't. Support Katilka.
Oh
She
yeah,
on
hell yeah,
Aces.
hell
So
yeah.
well.
I didn't know that.
Shout
but-
out Katilka and Aces.
Shout out
Yeah.
my
I
haven't been up there in a while.
bartender.
Yeah, Aces, that's us, and then Red Star, that's an older alumni.
Ooh.
Adam Shorter, he owns Red Star, and that's
Really? Really?
yeah, he's one of the older alums. He's like late '90s class.
Okay.
but I'm just naming
I
off
know
a few.
that.
I'm just naming off a few exactly.
That's a pretty big
Plug
one.
it
I know
in.
that.
yeah.
They
So
got a Bears party this
you know, so
weekend.
yeah, Saturday. If y'all not doing stuff, I got a game, but support y'all. Support
So
y'all
is that why they
classmates.
had events up there for the alumni? Because Damn.
Makes all the sense in the world, right?
Think that, yeah.
That's why that's why I be trying to tell folks, man, support your classmates.
I missed the cigars and sundress party.
Up there.
I missed it.
That wasn't Hillcrest. I don't know.
It was up there. I saw the plugger. I was like, oh damn, I missed the.
But y'all seen how O4 gave it up. I believe it was real sensible, nice. It was good from what I seen. Now 05 is talking about going to Jamaica.
They ain't talking about shit.
Okay.
They booking to Jamaica.
My funny self, I'm thinking like, okay, so it's my class, but what if I'm in a relationship? I'm married. Am I bringing my lady to my? She didn't go to Hillcrest. She don't understand the bond me and somebody. I'm trying to get to know again.
Introduce her as bae, man.
I'm trying to reintroduce myself. I know what's
You got a bae?
This is figurative speaking.
Oh, I'm about to say, man, that's wild, man.
I'm just for comical purpose. I'm like, oh, y'all going to Jamaica 20 years later? Y'all not the same. It's classmates still trying to get their rocks off on old. They trying to spin the block with the switch and the button.
Thing, yep.
Yeah,
they trying to rekindle prom.
Yeah, they trying to put that lube cooch on somebody.
Especially in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
You in paradise.
Listen,
Fella got her groove back.
some women are divorced. Some women are on the way to divorce, and they're booking these trips. These fellas, too. I'm not being sexist here, but I just want to know how that look. I'm like, so you got 04, it was like reasonable. Then 05, just like, whoa. So do we meet in the middle, or do we go bigger than them? Well, y'all finna make me.
That's a good
question. Are we throwing a Diddy party? You know,
pause. That's not happening.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, sir.
Are we throwing a Diddy
be
party? It's wild.
I was thinking baby oil. I was thinking baby oil.
Either you wild
them in there when you would have done skirting them in there.
Hey, you too wild for me, man.
My bad. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
A Diddy party.
Look, I'll come. I just make sure I'm not there when the shit jump off.
No, so what you think a Jamaica party going? So do you think it's a respectable party that they're going to the 20-year for? I'm thinking Freak Nick overseas non-disclosures.
Freak Nick.
I don't know what they got set up, but it sounds lit.
So what they're doing is they've been planning this. So listen, y'all got to make sure y'all support the class of 05 because they got some shit going. Like they're hosting an alumni basketball game, but this year it's not going to be Hillcrest Blue and White. It's going to be Hillcrest versus Rich Central. So
right,
they're bringing their alums to Hillcrest.
That's lit.
Man, look,
that's lit.
We about to turn that motherfucker.
What day is this? I'm about to pop up.
I don't know. It's like the third weekend of July usually.
Oh, facts.
But,
facts.
But even still though, man, like that whole weekend, I know 05 they're taking over the basketball game. So if you can make it, go. But no, they're going to.
They got the basketball stars. I'll give them that.
But they got Jimmy Miles. I think he might be playing, and if he does, I don't know who we got to talk to about him. But we got to get Shelby, man. Shelby.
Hey, somebody can find Shelby. That'd be dope.
Shelby Jordan. If they get look,
if somebody can find Shelby, that'd be dope.
Because Shelby, look. He was 03.
He was 03.
Shelby was 03. Look, that nigga like Tom Shepard to us, man. From above the rim.
Shelby was the GOAT, bro. Shelby was him, man. Before Jarrell and Reese, it was Shelby.
But here's what's crazy though. Could you imagine the three of them in the backcourt together?
Jarrell, Reese, and Shelby.
And at that time, oh my God. I know I think Jarrell was there. Jarrell and Reese were there. But if they were there like now, in this space, I mean, I don't really know outside of 2003 who Rich Central had, but I'm taking Hillcrest versus anybody. I don't give a fuck who we play.
We stole what's his name?
Who, Justin?
We stole Justin Taylor.
Yeah,
we stole JT from them niggas.
Yeah. Well,
bring your ass over here, man. Come with the Hawks, man.
And you know what? He was successful with us, but you know, at the end of the day, man, I'm taking Reese, Shelby, Jarrell, Donovan, O'Neal. Oh, I'm taking Rio Logan. I'm taking Keith. I'm sorry. Well, not Keith, his brother. Kellen.
I'm sorry, not my 06 people. I'm taking Cam. Taking Cam, Kev.
John Edwards.
I'm taking
Julian.
John. I'm taking Julian.
Yep.
Shout
out 06.
We're taking 06 people. They cool and all, but 06.
This wouldn't make this moment any better if I didn't shout out the most overrated You talk about a nigga that want to go ahead and hype his own brand up. Shout out to Nick Wright, man. He swear he the most decorated athlete in Hillcrest history.
Nick,
boy,
I didn't know he up to.
hey, I love Nick. Nick
Man,
is
shout
my
out
brother.
Nick, man.
Shout out, Nick.
They have the
Funny
internet
dude.
and the friends.
Hey, y'all seen that shit on
And the
Facebook
friends.
going
Oh,
up? Hey,
yeah.
that shit had me dying.
Y'all gotta
Hey.
show me
Hey,
after the
Nick
podcast.
Facebook
shit be going
I'm so
up, bro.
lost,
That shit
but I need to
hilarious.
know what's going on.
Hey,
in
he
the
will.
world.
That shit hilarious, man.
He be getting them started.
He
So
do be getting them started.
That nigga
got the
just
personality.
be bored.
He
online.
say something simple.
He
He
be
say
so
something simple.
bored, and
Like,
he be like,
I gotta
he
see this.
low key be trolling, and
He
these
do be
motherfuckers
getting them all riled up.
Oh
He be
my
getting
God.
them going, boy.
Like I told the one girl that was commenting, I'm like, you gotta make sure you gotta check and see if this nigga bored and if you got time. Cause I definitely was like, I saw him post it. I'm like, not today. I turned on that PS5 and got lost in the game for about 2 hours. And I went to the mall, like, fuck this nigga, man. I'm not about to buy into this, but
He ain't bait you in this
yeah,
time.
not today. He caught me for a moment. But it wasn't I'm just like, not again, bro.
So
That's funny.
you had mentioned something earlier. You had mentioned just with the Hillcrest team, just like the memories and all that y'all had
Man.
In football or baseball? Because I got memories
in
of both.
life, not even
in
sports.
life? Oh,
Not
shit.
overall?
sports. Overall memories.
But
of
you know what's
Hillcrest.
crazy though, Ethan? A lot of it evolves around it. I mean,
Sports.
around sports.
Yeah.
You know, because you got to think about high school was only 3 parts. It was class, it was sports and or band, and then it was everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And so I played football for 2 years and I played baseball for 4. But I joined the newspaper and I joined the school yearbook. Fun fact, our yearbook was the first yearbook. Our senior year was the first yearbook that was fully in color.
I remember
Really?
that.
It
I remember
was,
that.
wasn't it?
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, I made that
Yeah,
happen.
it was black. Yeah, it was black.
So,
and white.
we were at Elmhurst College, now Elmhurst University. I never knew that yearbook camp was a thing, but I went. And I was there for like 2-3 days, and it was actually one of the best experiences that I've ever had that wasn't sports related, because it was the first time I got a chance to be around kids that didn't look like me, and we all at that time we shared a common interest, and that was for that moment it was the yearbook and who was designing the best yearbook. So I figure we can win this. Ashley, I forgot her last name, but she was a year under us, and we were in this competition. And Miss Musser, the counselor, she wasn't even my
forgot about her.
She wasn't even
That's
my
my old
counselor,
counselor.
but she's the primary
Forgot
reason.
about her.
Listen, Miss Leanne Musser is the primary reason I'm in the position I'm in today.
Yeah,
I
she
got
was
good
cool.
You know what I'm
memory.
saying?
I forgot all
This
about
little
that
old
name. Yeah.
look, this little old white woman caring about these black kids.
Yeah.
You know
She
what I'm
was
saying?
that,
yeah.
But we, at the end of right before the end of the camp, we had to design a yearbook, and the winner of the yearbook contest, the yearbook was going to be published for free. Okay? And so we had to think about themes, we had to think about layout, all that. And so I thought, it's not very many of us, you know what I'm saying, that are, in our graduating class. We all know each other. And if we're going to take a theme, take the theme from Cheers, where everybody knows your name. And that was the yearbook theme. And if you remember, every single student at Hillcrest's name was on that yearbook. And everybody wanted to get that yearbook, not only because it was in color, but because people want to feel important.
Right.
So what was everybody doing once they got the yearbook? Going to find their name. My name was like toward the bottom on the back page. But everybody's name, every single student, no kid was left out. And then you open up the yearbook. Usually it's just the seniors that are in color. But everything was in color.
I remember that.
Because
yeah.
these are our memories. These are our memories, and that's what I thought about and didn't realize it at 17 years old. But those were our memories, and we needed to relive our memories in color, not in black and white. And that's why I said to you guys, we don't have to do what everybody else did for our reunion. Why can't we go ahead and create our own lane and make it to where now we're the pedestal, and now the classes after us have to follow what we do? 05, yeah, they can go to Jamaica, but how good of a time are they? Not hating on them, but y'all don't.
And who all gonna be able to go? Who
And it's
all
not
we
even
gonna
just
go
that.
to? Yeah.
How y'all gonna rock with each other? Y'all all in this one island
Out the country.
out the country.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna rock with each other? Because I know people who ain't going because they don't fuck with this person.
Exactly.
Yep.
20 years later. You know what I'm saying? we got an opportunity to relive our 20-year reunion in color again. Because they're going to mess around and they're going to take pictures and they'll probably have somebody with a camera. But y'all got a platform. Mm-hmm. Nobody got the same type of platform in the other classes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let this be y'all opportunity to not only grow y'all podcast, but let this be an opportunity for y'all to sell the idea of being a part of something that you can't miss. Because there's two different types of things that we do when we go out. We either go out and have a good time or we go have an experience.
Right.
Yeah.
You remember the experience. So create one.
Yeah.
And that's what our class reunion should be. And if we have a theme, that should be something along those lines. This is the let's create an experience that we'll remember for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that memory, right? And I was trying to be more toxic as far as like
What you want to know,
women
man?
and all that. But
She's married. No, she ain't married, but she got 3 kids.
so whole
That's
time
my toxic memory.
No, so whole
It
time
wasn't toxic.
Whole time you mentioned that memory, and I was gonna say, what's your favorite like memory from high school outside of women, outside of girls in general, like favorite high school memory, like your favorite.
Ooh, man.
Thing you like, you know what? Because like mine would be like, I remember when we were number 1 in the nation, right? I wasn't on the team, freshman.
When we played Thornton?
We played Thornton.
Oh my God, I was there.
And I rode the bus with the team, and it was so turned, boy. We was like, they had just got ranked number 1 in the nation. They had just
They got ranked number
we
1
got
on
beat
Monday.
by Julian. Be about 5 by Julian. We dropped from number 1 nation to out of the top 25, right? They had they went to number 1
Monday, and y'all beat them Tuesday.
We beat them that weekend or that next week.
Beat them that next day.
And yeah, next day they put in the paper number 1 in the nation.
They were number 1 in USA Today on Monday. We went in there and
went
beat
to
them on
Thornton.
Tuesday.
Man, they was so salty. They was ready to fight after that game.
Sure.
But the ride there, hearing Jarrell and Reese freestyling and shit, talking about Shelby, because they talking about how black Shelby was. They talking about he like an oil spot. They was talking about it was going in on him. I'm like, man, this, this is what high school is about. It's like, we won. I'm like, we just beat the number 1 team in the nation.
But could you imagine if we
You know
had
what I'm
cell
saying?
phones in that moment?
Yeah, we could have recorded that with our phones, boy.
Man, cell
Viral
phones
moments.
was just coming
But
out.
but you know what though?
The camera phone.
We still we remember everything about
Yeah,
it.
that
You know
game
what
was
I'm saying?
that was one of them games.
I think I don't know. I have a few.
Same.
I think my moment was when I interviewed Barack Obama.
Obama came. Yeah, Obama
And
came was lit.
I got that interview, dog. It was me and Ashley Green. She was in that 05 class.
I remember.
Bro, that was a moment that
Never forget.
it propelled me to where I'm at today.
Right.
Yeah.
That moment propelled, and I remember what I was wearing. I remember where I sat in the IMC. I remember which direction I was facing. I remember
IMC.
everything.
That assembly was
Man.
lit though.
Man, I remember
Assembly was
everything.
lit.
That was the moment that catapulted me. And I know Hillcrest done a lot, but that was the moment that made me say, I fuck with this.
It's the fact that we didn't know who he was when he came. He was just a senator at the time.
He was the state senator. He was
a
running for
senator.
U.S. Senate. And
Yeah.
one of those questions I asked him was, you think you'll ever run for president? It's when I knew politicians
He was
lied.
like, eh.
He was like, yeah, I don't think I have it in my future. 5 years later.
Yeah.
This nigga won the election. Two-term
terms.
election.
Two
Two-term
terms.
president, man.
I'm over here
Yeah.
salty because I missed that assembly.
Because you didn't know who he was. You probably saw him as just some senator.
And remember we had shortened schedules on assembly day.
Yeah, you like go home early.
Yeah,
don't
I
stay.
went home. I was like,
Yeah, man.
Dip
My mom-
on Barry.
I was like, I don't know.
My mom went, so she
I was
made
like,
me go.
I didn't, but you know what's crazy?
Saddam Hussein, they like, no. Barack
What's
Obama.
crazy is I didn't.
Osama bin Laden. I'm like, wait, what?
But going back to what I spoke
That's
on
messed up.
earlier in the show about opportunity and not knowing where opportunity can lead you, I did not know in my 17-year-old self that this was going to be the moment that changes my life forever. I had a conversation with Coach Maniatis. Shout out to John
Coach
Maniatis,
Maniatis.
one of the
Maniatis.
greatest coaches in the state of Illinois. Coach M said to me one day, Sam, you may hurt yourself. What are you planning on doing for the rest of your life in case you can't ever play ball again? And I told him I wanted to write. I wanted to go into journalism. I wanted to do something like that. And him and Miss Musser hooked that up for me. And then I ended up getting hurt like a month later. And me getting injured led to me being able to say, all right, bet. I need to figure out what the next phase of my life is going to look like. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so just for me to interview Barack Obama shortly thereafter, that made me say, okay, I'm cool if baseball don't work out because I kind of like this a little bit more anyway. You know. So that's my moment. That was that moment for me.
What about y'all? Y'all got any moments?
It's a few.
It's a few for me too.
Shit,
Let me go.
man, high school's a blur. One of mine I could think of was just the pep rallies. I remember the band was playing that.
Nadia. I was gonna say Nadia.
That part too.
Hey man,
Shout out Nadia, man.
Shout out
Hillcrest.
He funny. Listen, so when they used to play ASAP, like dun 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 dun, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they was lit.
That shit was so
assembly,
lit.
The pep rally was lit.
I think that might be my freshman year, and I was just like, this shit crazy.
Hey, the
Because
pep rally
I was
was
bumping
lit.
T.I. I just didn't expect him to play that. And then I
Rest in peace
remember,
to Dr. Anderson, man.
yeah, I just remember like they could play that.
Ace.
And I was like,
Ace.
oh,
That's
this
my
school
shit,
lit.
Rest in peace to Dr. Anderson because he definitely had
Yeah,
that
the
band.
band
rocking.
Man.
was lit.
Man.
The
Band
band.
I tell people all the time, Hillcrest band used to line up from the 35-yard line to the other 35-yard line, from sideline to sideline. Now, I give them credit for effort.
It ain't comparing, huh?
Nothing compares.
Yeah.
Hillcrest in a lot of schools, but I don't go to a lot of. I don't know anybody else's. I just know ours. We lost our pageantry, bro. We
What you
don't.
mean?
And so the pep rallies. You know what I'm saying?
They don't do them like that no more.
First of all, the kids don't have that same level of interest because we didn't make it important. Somewhere down the line, it no longer became important.
Think it's social media, the cell phones?
No, I don't think it's any of that. I just think that the ones
They
that
too
were.
cool.
I'm going to go take it a step further. These are kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether they're ours physically, biologically, or figuratively.
Just that age range.
That age range. We know people that we went to school with who's got kids in high school.
Yep.
We didn't make it important for the pep rallies to be a thing. We didn't make it important to play the tuba in the Hillcrest band anymore. We didn't make it important to go to Hillcrest to play basketball because Coach Houston is one of the best coaches in the state of Illinois. We didn't make that type of stuff important. The way we're talking about how Hillcrest was special for us, it stopped somewhere down the line because it ain't stopped at HF. It hasn't stopped at Lincoln Way. It definitely ain't stopped at these city schools. But why did it stop with us? Because we didn't make it important anymore.
Is it because Mac ain't there no more?
No, it's not. Listen,
Mac was the
a
heart and
piece
soul
of
of
it.
school.
Coming
man.
through with the cruises.
Listen.
Hey, Mac was the heart and soul, man.
Listen, man. People have to move forward. People have to move on. Mama Hawk couldn't stay at Hillcrest forever. Mac couldn't stay at Hillcrest forever. Jackson, all of those adults that we had
Rest in
who,
peace, Jace.
you know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out Miss Poston, too. Shout out
Miss Poston failed my ass. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have become. Nah, look.
Hey, that's real shit,
She
though.
failed the shit out of me.
Yeah, she
and
ain't play.
listen,
She didn't play about them grades,
No,
boy.
but she helped me so much that I never failed another paper for
Same.
ever
Same.
again.
Yeah,
She was very constructive.
Shout out Miss Poston. I actually saw her right up the street at the little restaurant up here. But her English class, AP English class, whatever.
sure prepared me.
when I got to college, I felt like, damn, I'm behind. But one thing that I was able to do for sure
Write.
is write papers.
I can write the fuck
like
out of a
write
paper.
the shit out of a paper
Yeah.
and be good.
Yep, it's but that's the thing though.
Shout out
We
Miss
didn't have
Poston.
the adults and the lore, the stories. These are important. You know about HF. You know about Lincoln Way East. You even still know more about other schools now than you know about your own. And that's because they put themselves out there. And so, again, coaching at Hillcrest didn't just allow me to just get back into the game. It helped me say, all right, I need to do something about this. It may not be immediate, but using whatever platform that I have and others to express the importance of us getting back, because it goes beyond pageantry for me. Yeah. That's just one factor.
Yeah.
It goes into, you knew what it took to walk through these hallways. You knew what it took to walk down these sidewalks and be in this neighborhood because you from this. And you live here still. And you're okay with what's going on in the neighborhood around you.
Yeah.
These are the same fields and the same playgrounds, the same stores, same restaurants that we walked in at their age, and we preserved it long enough so they can come in and fuck it up. No, this is one of those things where seriously, like when you are given something, you have a responsibility to uphold it. And I can honestly say we didn't as a collective. There's some of us who are coming back, but we need to make sure that we provide enough strength in man and woman power to keep what we have going, because eventually somebody else going to take that and it's not going to be in the image of what we want it to be or what we remember it to be.
So I was going to say shout out Will and them too for working with Bucky Irvin, you know. Bucky.
Yeah,
so
shout out to him.
I grew up with his father playing basketball too, like church leagues and stuff. But do you think that'll help a lot as far as like bringing back people to Hillcrest, as far as the notoriety he'll gain he gets from like being in the NFL right now and possibly being the greatest Hillcrest athlete we've ever had as far as successful professionally, you know?
We have to, for one, make sure that when not even just Bucky, but Jarrell and, you know, Marquise Cole and any of these, you know, or even, look, Sherrod gonna get his flowers. I'm gonna give him to him. I was trying to, Sherrod owns God is dope. And I want to make sure that all of these people understand that when they come back, don't ask them for anything. Be happy that they're given their time.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't, especially if you don't have that relationship with them.
Right.
You know, but if it's something that can be beneficial for both sides, that's going to do some good, then make sure that you present it in the right way. Because the way I have to do it with baseball, again, we've won 3 games in 2 years. But in order for me to get these people to buy into Hillcrest baseball, I have to make sure that I give them a reason to come out and support. If you don't support nothing else, come support me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come support me because I'm your friend. I'm your classmate. I'm doing something positive for where we came from.
Yeah.
So even if you just come and speak to my kids for a moment, that's good enough for me. Yeah. But you can't these people can't come back, and every time they come, they are uncomfortable and they feel like they're looking to do handouts, because that's not going to attract them and that's not going to bring them. Right intentions are, showing them that, hey, look at what they got going over here. I used to whoop their ass back in the day type shit. Or, when it comes to the band, like I really, 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 really know nothing more would make me happy than to see that band thriving again. I know Dr. Anderson ain't walking through that door, but we got a band director there that I know is trying her ass off with the resources that she has. But I was in the band in middle school. And fun fact, if I knew Mr. Walrap came to my house, if I knew Mr. Walrap came to my house to try to pull me off the football team after my freshman year to join the band, I'd have joined the band. But I didn't know because my mom didn't want me to. She knew I made a decision. Yeah. And she didn't want my decision to be swayed. But if I knew that then, I would have joined the band. Because I'm another voice. But I advocate for that type of shit because it's important. There's more out there than just what you see on the football field at halftime at Hillcrest. You can go and stand in front of 60, 70,000, 100,000 people in the SEC stadium marching. You can be Bobby Cooks and Catlin Landrum.
Shout out.
Shout out to the drum majors. Yeah. You can be that at a HBCU and be doing this in front of 50,000 people in the Superdome during Battle of the Bands. We got to make it a reason for these kids to want to do stuff. Unfortunately, we have to incentivize everything, but sometimes the incentives are beneficial. I tell some of my kids who aren't good enough on the baseball team, and they probably take this as a dig, but it's truth. You don't have to play the game of baseball or football or basketball to be involved in the game.
Yeah.
You know how much somebody getting paid to squirt water in one of these athletes' mouths? Pause.
I was just gonna say.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta say pause.
Pause. Big pause. I'll use something better. You know how much somebody's getting paid to put sticker decals on helmets. Somebody's getting paid to make sure that if Bucky's cleats are fucking up, that he get a new pair of cleats before the next drive. There's somebody that can learn how to tape ankles, how to run video, Eric Spoelstra was a video guy, and now he's one of the greatest coaches in the NBA.
How do you? My question to that is, how do you convince a child to not shoot for the stars and be the star? You know what I mean?
Why can't they be the star?
They can, but I'm saying, but those jobs are real jobs, or real.
So,
you know what I mean? Like,
so,
how do you convince them to be like, don't? Or you just giving them other options, plan B, plan C. You know what I'm saying? If this don't work
is me
out.
paying it forward from what Coach M did for me.
Okay.
But I'm taking it into a perspective of using what this tool is for you right now, and letting this be a tool for you to get to where you really want to go, which is all of these kids' goal, and even ours as adults, trying to get to the bag.
Yeah.
By doing something you enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, if you enjoy baseball, if you enjoy medicine, if you want to be a physical therapist, we got a great trainer at Hillcrest. Her name is Cece Hester. She's the athletic trainer at Hillcrest. She got them kids, and I think they're all girls that are on the field with her, assisting her, helping her out. She done taught them girls how to tape them kids' ankles and get them prepared for game day. So she's doing her part. You know what I'm saying? For me, I've offered opportunity for these kids to say, look, you may not make this team, but you can definitely come out here and still be a manager. Because what these kids don't understand is I can be your voice. I can be the difference between you getting $50,000 in scholarship because you decide to become a team manager with 3 years of training, and we call it an internship. Because the schools don't know what the fuck going on. Hey, write this on your college application. And then when you get to campus, you find out where their football facility is. Find the athletic facility.
Yeah.
You have an email, set up a LinkedIn, clean up all that bullshit off your social media, because you looking for a job right now. College is the first day of your life. Your real adult life. It's just baby steps to adulthood. But you are officially in it, because most of us are away from home for the first time. Some of us thrive and some of us don't make it. I didn't make it the first time or the second. You know what I'm saying? And it took me 15 years to come out of that hole. Them kids don't have to do that, because like I said, if I knew then what I know now, I would have just said fuck baseball after high school and went into what I'm doing right now. But who knows? I may be super successful in running my own shit, or I may just be right on time, because now I've been able to teach these kids the grind. And a lot of people, kids and adults alike, are afraid of that. But if you're willing to take the chance on yourself and say, all right, I know I'm not good over here, but I'm elite at this, because I tell my kids to be elite at least one thing. Yeah. Be elite at something. If you can't be elite at the plate, if you get on base, be elite in stealing bases and scoring, because we need runs. Yeah. If you can't help us out on defense, you can pitch a little bit, then you need to go up there, throw strikes, because we can't defend walks. But if you can't play this game at all, the first thing you can do is learn how to be a good teammate. Because a good teammate is somebody who's going to take that first step into being a good leader. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And so now you're creating a new group of coaches or CEOs, because that's what a coach is. A head coach is. You're a CEO of a program. You're not going to play baseball beyond you graduating high school, and you probably shouldn't have made it this far with us. But why go ahead and work for Boeing or go fix airplanes when you can go ahead and you can be the CEO, the president of Boeing? If you want to go into medicine, then why don't you go ahead and be the chief of medicine at one of these big ass hospitals? Yeah. Sports, I know I reference sports a lot because there's a lot of lessons in it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And those lessons that I took, I've applied them to my adult life. Because if I didn't have those hard moments, if I didn't have those lessons of adversity, if I didn't have those memories and those moments of triumphs and those moments of pain, I wouldn't know how all of this would feel now, and how it feels to be celebrated, how it feels to celebrate others. I wouldn't know how it feels to deal with loss, because I've never lost anything, and nothing was handed to me, so I had to work for everything. Yeah. But one thing that I have in common with a lot of people is I have a great group of friends, and sports provided that for me. And so when you look into the type of people that I've encountered and who I've dealt with, all of my friends have come from sports. Yeah. And so you look at how the impact of all of that does for a person. Mm-hmm. They usually say athletes make the best workers. And I kind of sort of agree with that. But those are the two factors that I have for these kids.
Yeah.
Sports provides lifelong friendships, but it also can be a tool for whatever you're trying to do later in life. Like I said, you can be a manager, you can be a coach, you can be an agent.
Right.
You can own the team and pick your own players. You can be a scout. You can be anything you want to be if you just sitting back, willing to learn, and you can handle rejection because you did make this team, but there's always some type of benefit on the other side of rejection. It's just another door that's opening, and it might be a better one. So now it's your test. You going to go walk through that door?
Yeah. See, I'm glad you said that about other opportunities because a lot of athletes, they see that door closed on them as far as their professional career, and they get discouraged about the sport altogether. And they're like, you know what, I'm just done with it. You know, but then you're a coach now, right? So you took the avenue of just going to the mentorship route, where you mentioned you could be a team manager, you could be a personal trainer, you could be, you know, whatever you could be that's not necessarily on the field. You could be on the sideline and be successful at that. It could be a whole career where you make 6 figures and you're still in a professional setting, but you're not a professional athlete.
Yeah. I like that you said that because one thought that I had was that it's amazing to show our youth that they can, like if they're not the star athlete, right, with the multi-$100 million contract or whatever, you could still have a happy, successful, thriving life, and it don't have to be boxed into that little constraint like you've been saying.
And that's why I tell my kids, like, I don't want y'all to just be athletes. I want y'all to do other things. That same kid that's got his offer, I'm going to shout him out because he's from Hillcrest. Shout out to Noah Walls. Noah Walls deserves to have his name called. Salute. That boy worked his ass off, okay? And he from the neighborhood. Matter of fact, he from the same neighborhood I grew up in. Lived down the street from my godparents.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? But this kid, he's learning the lessons early. The lessons that we wish we'd have learned at their age, he's learning it now. He's learning how it feels to have people genuinely support him and want to see him do well in life. This kid has he has a speech impairment. All right, he stutters, but that boy took a chance on himself, and it paid off big time. And we should support him. If I know the date of when they're trying to do this, y'all remember the Hillcrest Fright Nights?
Did we have that?
I don't remember us having that.
I don't think we had no Fright Nights.
I know we had them at Prairie Hills. I don't think we had them at Hillcrest when we were there, but I know they were having them.
Okay.
And so those kids petitioned, but he led the charge by actually speaking. And this is a kid who has a speech problem, but he stood up for something that he was that he believed in, and he spoke in front of all these people and took a chance, and that chance paid off because now they're about to go ahead and bring this event back. But he's also the president of the art club, vice president of the art club. So what are you really teaching? You know, so again, like being able to show these kids and be available for them and tell them like, hey, this is the formula. These kids don't have to go through what we went through if we can help it. You feel me? Like I'm just happy that God chose me to be the community's coach. And that's pretty much when it all sums up for me in this whole coaching thing is that I used to ask God why a lot. And every time I ask God and I, we had this weird relationship, I feel like, because he cussed at me. This nigga again. The fuck, Sam? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's blasphemous to talk like that, but you know what?
I feel you, though.
But you know what? My prayers to God are personal. They ain't public.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So however I got to get my prayer across, God knows my heart and he knows the direction I'm trying to go with it. Yep. So that's why I feel like I can say that. But saying all that to say, I stopped asking why and just said okay. You feel me?
Yeah.
I just said okay. I didn't know that that a kid like Noah Walls needed me. I didn't know that a kid like, Rayshawn Perry and Tremel White and Eric Pike and all of these kids. I'm naming off my players because I'm proud of them, and I hope they hear this. But on my travel team, all my kids with the Charros, Noah's on that team as well. But I got another kid. He's a Hillcrest guy, 2-time All-Conference. Daquan Dennis, he a junior. He's 2-time All-Conference, freshman and sophomore year. You know what I'm saying? Super athlete. He might not be Bucky, but he's a damn good running back and one of the best running backs that can come out of Hillcrest beyond the couple.
Just want to ask you, since you probably
Darius
seen
Bucky.
You already know where I was going with this. You know where I was going with this. Is Darius is Bucky better than Darius? I know
This feels like Jordan and LeBron.
Come on with it.
He said,
how many records does Bucky have for Hillcrest?
Okay.
Darius got a couple of them.
I don't know records, but I know what I saw with my two eyes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. St. Lawrence, a few years ago, I think this was Bucky's junior year. Bucky had over 500 all-purpose yards and like 6 touchdowns, but only 250 of them counted because they got called back. This man ran back kicks. He was running the ball. He was catching, he was hands down one of the most incredible athletes.
Because Darius had one of them games against Kankakee, which is not saying the same thing, but Kankakee, he had 5 touchdowns. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on public record. Say what you gotta say, man.
Shout
out Gates, man. Gates.
Darius Gates, hands down, is probably 1B to Bucky.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because we saw where Bucky is now.
Right, facts. You can't deny that.
You know what I'm saying? We see where Bucky is now. But Darius had that same effect on Friday nights as Bucky did. But the thing is, though, with Bucky, you don't remember too many of his teammates. You know what I'm saying? Because Bucky came in, he was almost a one-man show.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Gates, but
But Gates ain't,
he wasn't by himself.
Gates wasn't by Gates. Gates is a part of the 70. If, in my opinion, and this, I don't mean this in regards to like records and championships and shit like that, because that sophomore year that Bucky was playing, when it was Corey Crooms who made it to the NFL, had an NFL look, Montez Garrett and Basil Weber and Cam Maddox and all of them kids. No, that's the greatest team that ever came through Hillcrest.
So you saying that we had 4 NFL players or 3?
They had 2. That team had 2. So Hillcrest, when Bucky was there his sophomore year, they advanced farther than anybody in Hillcrest history. They made it to the semifinals and lost to Joliet Catholic.
And we made it to the
second. We never got it past second round in football. We never got past second round. Now I will say this: if Darius played basketball all 4 years, then I'm gonna put that notch just on high school alone. I'm putting Darius above Bucky. Because Bucky was he was player of the year in both football and basketball.
That's what I'm going to tell you, yeah.
You know what
Bucky
I'm saying?
Played basketball
but when it comes to Darius,
it's crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
When it comes, I played with him on the field and I saw him in the bleachers. Mm-hmm. I know what I saw on both sides. That nigga was different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If Darius, I feel like had the same level of coaching support that Bucky had.
Right.
And I don't really know the full dynamics. I'm just assuming. Yeah. But Darius Gates should have been playing Power 5 football as a running back.
I felt that too. He should have been somewhere bigger than where he was at.
But he made the most of his opportunity at Indiana State, and he held records there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he dealt with the injury early in his career.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? Dreadhead Darius was a different nigga back then.
Big motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, Darius was where he needed to be at that time.
Right.
And because now you look at where he's at now. I couldn't imagine. Of course, you for your friends, Kellen Weaver, Will Franklin, Jeff Foster, all of these guys we played ball with, all of them didn't have college. Kevin Smith.
Kev,
you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't, you didn't see all of these opportunities. Back then you didn't see past high school, but with Bucky, you knew that kid was at least going high level football. Now the NFL Only a very small percentage.
I ain't see that coming because
I can't necessarily.
When he went to Minnesota, I'm like, okay.
You got a shot.
Right,
but when he transferred to Oregon, he going.
I thought he was a big mistake. I didn't think he was gonna get that much playing time. But the way he was playing in Oregon, they had him like he was a starter. He was
a stud in high school. But again, that's a kid that got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Work ethic.
No,
is
he
crazy.
got it in the NFL right now too.
Work ethic is crazy.
He got it right.
He will probably be running back number 1 within the next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he went by the end of the season.
By the end of the season, he better than.
But I feel like if Darius had the same opportunity, again, I'm just speculating. But I feel like if Darius had the same opportunity as Bucky had in regards to, getting to that level of college football, I think Darius would have made it.
If he had won D1 like that, he went D1, but he went that
powerhouse.
Yeah,
I think Darius goes.
Schools.
You know what I'm saying? Because Darius had that same type of work ethic.
Darius
he still has it now. He's just not. It's not on the playing field. It's in the corporate world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I'm gonna talk about Darius real quick. Darius Gates is the reason I'm on y'all podcast right now. Mm-hmm. Darius Gates is the reason why I got off the porch, or actually got off the couch, and got into everything that I'm doing now. That one person believed in me when I didn't even think that I was capable of doing anything in regards to marketing, media, event planning, all of those things. But he brought me out of that, and he got me to where I'm at. And this was like 3 years ago. This was like 2021. I remember planning my first event for him, and it turned out to be successful, to where I planned another successful event for him, to where I was, and doing his media work. I was setting shit up for him. But Darius gave me an opportunity, and not to mention, Darius helped me during a very, very, very tough time in my life. Totally. And you as adults, if we're not feeling like we're successful, this is when you find out who your real friends are. They'll pour into you. Mm-hmm. My cup was bone dry, empty. Okay, and I can't pour into anybody. Hell, I have nothing to pour. Hell, I have nothing for myself. But Darius started to pour into me a little bit. Every opportunity that he gave me, hey, big dog, I need you to do this. Hey, I got this going on. Can you help me with this type shit? Mm-hmm. And it turned into me now. I'm not gonna say I was his assistant, but I was like, his consultant. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me that opportunity. So I don't know Bucky personally. Mm-hmm. I know what he's done on the field. Right. I mean, I've seen him a few times, but aside from the football shit with Gates is just a great dude, and that's Hall of Fame for me. That means if you make it in life as a person, no matter what you do beyond that, you've made it. He's a great dad. He's a great businessman. He's a great friend. And more importantly, he sees the best in people and wanted to bring out the best in somebody, and he chose me. And at that time, I asked, why did he ask me? Instead of saying, okay, I got this. Because there was a lot of days I was scared to do this work. I don't want to fail my friend. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. But Darius believed in everything that I did. And it led to, it low-key led to the Beers and White Toes. It led to me being in this space where I'm in charge of putting together one of the biggest events in high school baseball for the city of Chicago, all of Cook County. And that burden, it's not even a burden. Let me take that back. Let me take that out the air right now. That is not a burden. That opportunity fell into my lap.
It's a blessing, man.
It is an absolute blessing. All because that man turned that mustard seed into what it is today. Yeah. And that's why it's easy for me to call you guys and say, I see something in y'all. Yeah. Because somebody saw something in me. Darius poured into my glass. He started, which led to other people pouring in, which allows me to now pour from my glass into yours, which allows me to pour into the glass of my players and the people around me. You feel me? Yeah. And Darius is the reason why I'm in this space now. Aside from the fact that, like I said, he's one of my best friends, like my brother. But Darius, Kellen, James, Stevan, you know what I'm saying? These are my immediate circle of friends from Hillcrest. Just like y'all three, This is y'all nucleus. And as far as the friendship, universe goes, y'all just on the outside of us and vice versa. Cause y'all know if we all get together and we in one space,
Just
it's gonna
and
be
jokes.
laughs and
Good
jokes. It's
time.
gonna be a great time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But I know what them guys have done for me.
Yeah.
You know, we get into this thing about comparison, and I used to do that too. I used to compare myself to the successes of my friends because it's just natural, it's just human, and it's also one of those toxic male traits that we have is comparison. And if you know anything about comparison is the thief of joy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to take away from anything that makes me happy, right?
Yeah.
But I had to tell James, and I had to tell this to Kellen not too long ago. I'm not comparing myself to y'all. I'm modeling the vision board of success that you all created.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, y'all are all successful in y'all respective fields. Y'all are, you know, the ones that are fathers, y'all ain't deadbeat dads. Y'all are great fucking dads. When it comes to what y'all do in the business world, look, y'all may not be where y'all want to be right now, but y'all working y'all asses off to get there. And I see this, and I see, you know, I don't see the work that you put in, but I know if you staying consistent and you grinding, these are your results.
Yeah.
You know, James in law school, I know what he done been through. I've been there with him for a lot of this. That's why no matter what I'm doing in the world, I got to be at that event for him. I got to be at his graduation because I watched that grind.
Yeah.
I know the
That's
losses.
dope. That's dope as hell.
But you know, again, like this is that nucleus. This is the importance of why I coach.
Yep.
This is the reason why I pour back into where I'm from. This is why I sit down with these families. This is why I sit down with these kids. I sit down with these coaches and now all of these business people because I have a job to do. Because somebody believed in me. And so with that being said, man, I don't know how much more time we got on this show.
Oh, we good.
Because my camera dead.
Yeah.
It went off?
Yeah, but it's cool though.
That's cool. We still
Yeah,
gonna be good.
It's all good. I didn't realize how much Hillcrest meant to me because I'm going to be transparent because this is a safe space and we're all alums and I can go ahead and express this to y'all. Coaching at Hillcrest is not easy. It's not easy at all. And it's not easy not because of what we deal with on the field and getting kids in practice. It's difficult because not enough of us are available to support each other. It's difficult to do my job because the same school that made you into who you were is not good enough for your kid to be made into what you can be. And look how you turned out.
Yeah.
You don't trust me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't trust these coaches who walked in these same hallways, that walked in these same streets, that know these same police officers, that know these same teachers. You don't trust us enough to take care of your son or daughter for 8-9 hours, maybe longer.
Yeah.
When you can't make it to these games on Friday night, or you can't make it to your son or daughter basketball game on a Tuesday because you gotta work, you know that somebody that you've grown up with gonna protect your kid and make sure that they get home okay. And if they gotta eat, they gonna eat.
Yeah.
If they need somewhere to go ahead and vent because they had a bad day at school, they need to know that they got another adult that they can trust. That's what makes coaching at the school hard right now.
Yeah.
It ain't got shit to do with wins and losses because you're not going to win every game and you're not going to lose every game. The responsibility of winning and losing, of course, it falls on the coaches. But at the same time, like I said, Coach Weaver told me, you still got to be a mentor.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's not, and that's why it's taken so long for us as alums to come back. Because we either don't know that we're there or they don't trust us enough to look after their kids. There's a bunch of kids that are at Hillcrest right now that I know their parents. And because I know their parents, I give them special treatment. I probably shouldn't say that, but I do.
Yeah.
Because I know your dad. I knew your mom. I know their history. I know who they were when they were your age. Your parents wasn't born at 33, 34, 40 years old.
Yeah.
They went through the same shit you going through. It's just your shit is on a heightened level now because y'all got camera phones. We had fucking Polaroids and
Yeah, just got them first Nokias.
You know what I'm
Little
saying?
First flip phones.
So in other
Sony
words,
and
life
Sony.
ain't, you know, the things that we see in life may look different, but they're not.
Yeah.
And so it just bothers me that we get these adults who walk in these hallways with us that don't think that Hillcrest is good enough for their kids because of the things that they've heard in the past about what is going on now. No,
Yeah.
I'm there. Kyran Weaver's there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nikita Odom is there. Miss Haley
She there?
Miss Haley, not
I
Miss
know-
Haley
I know
anymore, but
Nikita.
Miss Pointer, she's still there.
Wow.
Miss Chambers, who ain't Miss Chambers, Miss Broom, she's still there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there may not be the Mama Hawks and the Mr. Max and those type of people in them hallways, but there's still nostalgia and history that's on those floors.
Yeah.
That's in those lockers. There's legends that have come through and played in the respective sports that you've played.
Yeah.
Stephon Martin is probably the top 2, top 3 best player that ever came out
Baseball.
of Hillcrest in all
Football,
sports. Athlete.
Oh, Savannah.
Total
yeah,
athlete.
yeah.
Okay? And I say that above Kellen. I say that above Darius because they say the same thing. No. It's okay because we all know, look, Darius, an amazing football player. Amazing.
Savannah all around athlete.
He's just an all-around athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when them kids come in for baseball, I walk down to show them the pictures of the class from my classmates.
Savannah, yeah.
And I showed them Stephon Martin, and I showed them Jamie Dawson, because those were my teammates.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, yeah, I was on that team with those guys, and I was the 5th best player. And I was really fucking good. I still go out there and practice with my kids, and I'm the best player on the team, and I don't even play. You know what I'm saying? But I make sure that those kids know who came before them on the football field. Y'all got to know who Marquise Cole is. Y'all got to know that y'all football coach, Coach Weaver, he's the reason y'all play on Friday nights. His class is the reason his class was the first class to have lights. 2000, class of 2000, yeah. Class of 2000.
Wow.
They're the reason they got lights. So they made it possible for y'all to play on Friday nights and not Saturday mornings. Our class and a few others beyond us, you know, we're part of the reason that, you know, and not even just at Hillcrest, but the entire district, but we're that group that made it responsible for y'all to get turf, to have these field houses.
We got that big
Because-
ass gym now.
Big
yeah.
ass gym. I
But
still
that's
ain't
because-
Claim in that gym yet.
we need.
Well, if y'all just call me, I'll take y'all on a tour of the whole fucking school. It don't even look the same.
I'm sure it don't.
You know, it don't. I'll walk
I
y'all
can
right
imagine.
through there, and I got keys, and that's just still weird to me. And 3 years later, it's still weird that I got keys to that school.
That's
I can go
wild.
in and out anytime I want, 24/7. But anyway, you know, just making sure that these kids understand that there's history there.
Yeah.
Every kid's not going to appreciate history. I've learned that. I can't
Yeah.
be preachy about what used to be because these kids care about the now. But the kids that care about the history of the school, the program, and things of that nature, what's going to happen is they want to top that. Aramis Wright right now is going
Aramis. They talking about Aramis Donahue.
Nah, not
They
Aramis.
talking about
Shout
Aramis.
Shout out to
Shout
Aramis,
out,
though.
y'all,
I
y'all
think
got
somebody-
all the throwback
Nah,
names. I'm like,
Aramis
shout
right,
out
right
to
now
everybody.
is right now their top guy at Hillcrest in the football program. He's going to South Dakota State to play football, and he is one of them ones. He's not Bucky, he's not Gates,
But he's just cold. He's decent though.
but he's one of them. You gonna remember him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gonna remember that kid, you know. And there's a lot of they're a solid team, and they're very scrappy because they're well coached because they believe in the message of their head coach.
Yeah.
But we got to teach them that this was something. You can go to HF and see the championships. Listen, I know we can wave them off. I'm using HF as an example because they're the
Yeah.
closest school to us.
Yeah.
You know, if I lived on the other side of 100, if I lived on Grand Prairie side and not the Aldi side
at
of high school,
HF.
Yep.
I'm at HF. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Grand Prairie side, yeah.
But saying all that to say, we know them.
Yeah.
We all know somebody
He
from
went to HF, yeah.
Julian
Yeah.
Wright came and saw me off the prom. Big tall ass nigga just came
Julian.
back. Julian Wright made it to NBA. McDonald's All-American, University of Kansas, all type of shit, all these accolades, and he came to see me off the prom. So I'm gonna represent and show love for the South suburbs, because the city do it for them. Trust me, I know. I'm the only one from Black Baseball Media that represents the suburbs fully. I'm the only one, if not the only, suburban coach representing. I'm the one that got the biggest voice.
I think I'm just hating because HF always had like better stuff than we did. Like,
but they have better stuff because you got
everything.
But you know why that is?
It's taxpayers.
But yeah, I know why. Well, but no,
still, let's take money. I know money is a big part
tuition.
Of. It's not even. Let's take the money away from it.
Yeah.
They win. Yeah.
They're
right now. They have.
They ain't better than Hillcrest in basketball though.
But they got a state championship.
But we do too.
Yeah, but guess what? Nobody remembers the 2010 championship.
But they remember that team that Hillcrest puts out every year now because I was ranked in the top 10 in the state.
Not right now, they're not, but they're always competitive.
They were number 6 in the state last year. They got as high as 6 in the state last year.
Not last year.
Yeah.
Last year they were maybe the year before. When they had...
No, it was last year.
No, I wasn't last year.
My brother's principal for Perspective, so...
It wasn't Hillcrest last year. I can tell you that right now.
Because they won the...
They lost to Evergreen Park in Oak Lawn, I think, bro.
That's a TF North.
Nah, you talking about basketball, right?
Yeah.
Nah, last year was not...
Because they won
so the year you thinking...
Dipper.
The year you thinking about... No, that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
That was when they went and lost to Simeon in the Super Sectionals.
No, it was last year they lost to TF North.
Last year they lost in the second round. They
TF North.
They lost early.
To TF North.
I don't remember, but I know they weren't ranked that high.
They were. I'm telling you, they
maybe they were. I don't know.
Shout out Hillcrest.
Shout out to Coach Houston. That's a big mentor of mine.
Real quick, Corey.
Coach Cap.
Yes,
We never say your favorite part.
Yeah, we didn't. Y'all just kept it on me.
You was just going.
Your favorite part of high school. Yeah. I really want to know who y'all crush was, but we can get to that. Before y'all end, I want to make it a little bit more. I want to know who y'all would talk to right now in the class.
Why would we?
Just to make everybody throw everybody off in the.
No.
Not
they ain't gonna do it. I'll do it.
The one I'm with.
Yeah, smart man.
Hey, that man.
Love the one you with.
That man fine.
Smart man.
I was on the chess team.
We
went to Peoria for the championship, and Mike Epps was there. And one of the things he said to the table, to shout out to Brodney, he said, "Your ass too big to be playing chess, man. You need to be on that football field throwing people around." But yeah, we had it was just an experience, just being at the hotel just for chess. Like, I don't know if it's competitive. It's not a sport. It's not like football.
It wasn't math.
Scholastic
Bowl.
But we went downstate and we competed. And, you know, that was probably one of my best memories outside of the school. Life didn't get lit until like after high school. So I enjoyed y'all guys, but, you know, it got greater. You know, to the people that it got greater later still come back and show us how greater it got. Because, you know, you might have been in your shell in high school.
You used to come to AP History after leaving the club. Stop playing with
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Leaving by level. You leave by level. Come straight to the club. Straight to the class.
Junior through freshman.
He drives.
Yeah, I'm trying
to
figure out.
He had a car first.
I'm trying to figure out who I am. I'm writing women love letters. I'm a nice, sweet, you know, they be like, who hurt you? Well, B word. Let's talk about all the B words. But see, I don't want to go there, but yeah, Hillcrest was I'm interested in hearing someone speak who really has that passion, has that camaraderie, because I'm probably not the best orator for that experience. But like he said, if we get in the room, I have experience with each of those gentlemen, because respect for the individual.
Mr. Lowry.
We were there, and what I think the difference...
That was my second.
Hey, shout out Mr. Lowry.
That was my second favorite thing. Mr. Lowry's physics class.
Listen,
we had
Mr. Lowry.
It's balanced.
We had a blast.
We was good guys, but we was assholes.
We had a blast.
We did that.
That was like, that should have been a movie.
But I feel like we made school fun. It wasn't like the teachers. Like, I'm glad that you have experience where they guided you the right way. But I remember being on some type of committee, and we're laying in the blue hallway on the floor putting the banners up for the hallway for some type of season, or somebody's coloring and stuff
Spirit Week.
Spirit Week, and the kids getting together to make it good for and not like I know the faculty was there to help, but when Smiles and them put them wigs on and was pom-pomming, that was 06, 05, and a little bit of 07 mixed in there. It was us taking the moment and living in it, and that's why I think it's gone from there because of the technology.
So no Diddy. Who put the baby oil on the steps? Who put the baby oil on the steps? Was that
remember baby oil on the steps?
They did put baby
You
on the
don't
rails,
remember
on the rails and the steps.
All right,
People busting their shit.
It was coming down the upper orange hallway.
Throwing pennies at people.
I know where you going with that.
I think I know who it was. I ain't gonna say your names.
You know who it was.
I know who it was.
Because I know who it was. Because we talk about it. Yep. But yep.
Look at y'all, man.
Yep.
The baby on the stairs.
Johnson & Johnson's on the goddamn steps. And
diabolical.
It was the worst.
Especially if they late for class. That
there,
bell go off, running.
And we thinking this shit harmless, not realizing
Somebody could
like,
die.
Somebody
could die.
Get hurt. I think somebody did get hurt. But yeah.
It was fun times.
Yeah.
Fun times. Spirit Week, you brought that up. Those were fun times.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like we did that. I know faculty helped, gave us what we needed, but like in your situation with technology is prominent right now, I'm thinking that something like they just show a moment in time from their section of the world, which is Hillcrest, and put it out there. It's more of a like maybe interacting with the internet and the time in the school and making their stamp more interactive with the technology than when we had it, when we was cool with just us being entertained by each other is what I think the shift in tide is too.
I think a piece of that though, like you said, sometimes the kids, they not, like nowadays, they not as willing to be out their comfort zone and go do some fun shit like that. But it's part of that is because everything recorded.
Yeah.
Like when you think about like a powder puff game, right? Back then, it was crazy. Like they wild.
But you had to be there.
You had to be there. You ain't worried about they gonna record this and this gonna be on the internet
viral
forever. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like
there was a lot of shit that if we would have seen how we look now, look then.
Y'all wouldn't have did it.
I'm still mad I missed that game.
Yeah.
You know the game I'm talking about.
I know. I was there.
I'm mad I missed that game.
Sucks to be you. You go look. Fuck this shit. I'm about
I already
to go
shouted
home.
you out. I ain't gonna shout you out no more. But I'm mad I missed that. The
the
pop-up game. The one.
Yeah, I was there.
Eric came the next day like, you missed it, bro.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely one of those.
For real?
It was. It was.
Andy,
that was one of those moments. It was like.
That was the one. Everybody was like, man.
And that's what I'm saying.
I couldn't imagine being there like this.
Right.
He said all the fantasy.
Yo, that would have been crazy. But that's what it be moments like that. I'm like, this is a whole movie. This is like something off of a movie I would watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Our reality is somebody else's, art right
fiction.
now.
Yeah. Speak like even when I thought about that, you was talking about that like viral video from like the back in the day 05
The
whatever.
nostalgic video.
Yeah, that shit was hella nostalgic. I'm like, yo, it seemed like a time capsule.
You put yourself back in that space.
Man, you like see everybody with the jerseys and the long tees and the Jabot pants.
And you see some of those moments
crazy.
and you kind of can remember some of that shit.
Yeah, I remember a lot of that. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, this is wild. Like, it put me in a different space. So
I remember a lot of them sleeper pics. It was a lot of people in the video that probably back then didn't get enough recognition that they need to get. I want to give some of y'all flowers for back then. Not now. Not now, but
so
back
then they was
fine
looking
as
good.
hell.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
And
I didn't appreciate your beauty back then, Queen. I'm sorry.
Facts.
But today,
A lot of them.
yeah.
A lot of ones I liked back then.
You didn't know how rare that type or that beauty was. You just kids, teenagers.
Yeah.
You get out in the real world like, damn, she was.
Yeah, we was blessed. We had some beauties.
Yeah, but you know what made what made high school, at least during that time, a very cool time? I can count all the fights I've seen on one hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't see that.
fights.
I didn't see very many kids.
There's a lot of fights. Just random. They be in the hallway in the morning.
Yeah, but
Them don't count for real.
Yeah,
You talking about the
we're
real,
talking
real,
about
like
these
the real,
kids
real.
at that school be fighting often, and it's not even. I'm not even speaking on that because I want people to be like, I don't want to promote it. I'm just looking at it because y'all mentioned fun. These kids don't know it. They don't know how to have fun.
That's crazy.
It's a real thing.
They clicked up.
Yeah, but not only
and they're afraid to get embarrassed by anybody.
And humiliated.
They don't want to get
Yeah,
embarrassed.
it's online. It's on Facebook.
But
everything's about not getting embarrassed.
We can roast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We love women so much.
But they get roasted. They ready.
Oh, it's up.
It's ready. Yeah.
Man, listen. I just look.
You said what? Yeah.
It's over with, man. But again, like
what?
Yeah. When I look at how things were then and how they are now, it's not hard to change that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard for these kids. Kids understand the importance of actually having fun. One, you decide to have fun, you'll enjoy life a little bit more, and then you might want to live a little longer.
Bring fun back.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
Fun.
That's what our goals. Yeah, as alums, bring fun back. Not for just you going to Jamaica. That's cool, but also for balance, because the thing it's about balance.
Yeah.
Bring some fun back to where the new age could possibly. Cool with the older age. In that way, it trickled down to the people that's growing up, and then it's to reach back.
Yeah.
So something when you were speaking on that, a question that popped in my head was like that responsibility, like the kids now that's at the high school, that fun, that pageantry, everything that you were talking about. Do you feel that responsibility falls on? Is it staff, the parents, the alum who may not be as connected nowadays because life be life, and or is it just a mix? Like takes a village. Because I'm like, man, like who? Because like as an alum, right? I don't know how much I could do to affect, whatever. But on the day-to-day, they with the faculty, they parents, like, you know what I mean, like so.
So, put yourself in the shoes of your 16-year-old, 17-year-old self, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna become what you see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If all you seeing around you is a bunch of teachers who act like they don't want to be there, or they just tired,
mm-hmm.
because these kids then strip the fun and the pleasure out of teaching,
mm-hmm.
and now it's no longer a passion, it's just a job. You're not gonna reach them. Kids aren't stupid.
Yeah, they
you know
can
what I'm
sense,
saying?
they can pick up.
They can pick. They're like sharks when it comes to blood. They
Mm-hmm.
know when people don't fuck with them, and so how do they go ahead and get their attention? They act out. You know what I'm saying? You show up for these kids, and let me just ask you, what is it that you do for a living outside of this podcast shit?
Me?
What's your background?
Tech, IT, systems.
Tech.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have to go that deep.
Mm-hmm.
Tech. These kids up there want to be engineers. Hell,
Mm-hmm.
let's not even get into that type of career. They want to be us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These kids want to be us. I have a kid on my team who, I'm going to support him whether I like it or not. But him and his girlfriend, they're streamers.
Mm-hmm.
They're content creators.
Mm-hmm.
And their numbers are going up like crazy. But it's just them that I know of. But this is what these kids want to do.
Yeah.
So you feed into what they like. Give them a reason to want to actually do better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everything these kids want to do right now, they want to rap, they want to go to the league,
Right.
They want to be IG models. These are real things that I've heard.
You're saying they aspire to be OnlyFans?
IG models.
I know. I was just
Not the
some of them.
same is interchangeable.
All I'm saying is this: whatever these kids want to become, we know somebody that does it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Workshops.
So if you want to go out there and you want to help these kids become a better version of themselves, okay, you want to be a content creator. Well, here, look, this person is a content creator. Here's Jasmine Hunter. She has her own,
Shout out to Jasmine.
Yeah, shout out to
Giselle.
Yeah.
Shout out.
She got her own shit going in media. If you want to get into, coaching, you want to get into sports, you got a guy like me. You got other people that I know that are in coaching. If you want to get into real estate, investment, whatever type, engineering, there is somebody out there for you. And they walked in these same halls as you did. But until we start coming back up there and showing these kids a different way, they're going to continue to be what they know and what they see. You're going to see a new generation of scammers. You're going to see a new generation of fucking thieves and and girls out here that's looking in a way that you wouldn't want your son to bring home. You know what I'm saying? These you don't want them to turn into the girls that, you know, our parents didn't want us to marry.
Yeah.
Man.
You feel me? And you don't want your son to go out here and be the type of man you would want your daughter to bring home type shit.
Man.
Or, look, we got to be inclusive. Your child.
Yeah.
You don't know what your child is going to bring home, but you want to make sure that the person that they bring home is respectful and something that you can go ahead and tell your family or when they come around, you don't feel embarrassed. But if you're going to do it, be good. Be good at it and just don't hurt nobody in the process. I don't agree with a lot of the shit that a lot of these kids do, but again, they didn't know me before they got their minds made up. And the ones that do know me now, you know, hopefully they know, like I tell them all the time, I'm proud of you. And you just let me know if whatever it is I can do for you. You feel me? And anybody that I can put you in tune with, I will, whether they went to Hillcrest or not. I prefer you talk to somebody that went here.
Yeah.
Because if they went here, chances are they're from the same community you're from.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah, representation be everything.
Representation matters.
Everything.
I just want to say that there are some women that I saw as women that I couldn't take home in high
Here you
school.
go.
But now that we're older, I'm like, you know, I was
my own place now.
wrong. I was wrong. You changed. So shout out to the women who I
Having
saw
second
as,
thoughts?
yeah, some of them I saw as like they was just for the streets.
We used to,
But
what we used to call them, runners.
runners,
We used to have some wild
Derbs.
Derb. Remember
What the
Derb
fuck, man?
was a wild name.
Derb was crazy.
buses, who's buses?
Bust downs.
It's your bus.
And you know what a bust down is now?
A watch.
Wow.
A
It's,
icy watch.
or
bust down watch,
it's a
yeah.
wig.
Yeah. It's the watch.
So
bus
the
down.
first time I heard
16-inch
wild.
bust down.
The
Yeah.
first time I heard a girl say, "I'm trying to get a buzz down," my ears, what the fuck you mean? and Cece had to tell me, she was like, "No, she's talking about a wig. She's not talking." I was like, "Y'all got to tell me something with this new language, because this shit wild."
Do
to
you
me, man.
remember? This is so random. Like K-Swiss went from like a shoe that was cool, like maybe 7th, 8th grade. It was like get off
For
K-Swiss.
the men, for the boys,
Then it turned to like a buster shoe.
for all the girls. If you wore
At
K-Swiss
some
in high
point,
school, you was a hoe.
Where she had the
Hey,
K-Swiss
man,
on. I'm like,
I
oh, she,
ain't-
The girls
she
on K-Swiss,
busted.
you looking at her like,
I'm not okay. I'm not.
you
Gonna,
know, she look like she
Look,
going.
that's like
I'm
busted,
not
that was-
signing off on that
you
one.
know
I
that was
some-
busted energy.
It,
Once had them
they went
K-Swiss.
hand in hand in high school, bro.
I'm not signing off on that, but hey, all I know is this:
little K-Swiss.
you stayed away from the niggas that was wearing them Reebok Soldiers.
What's the Reebok?
Was that-
What
was
was
that-
Reebok Soldier?
Was that the equivalent of the
Nah,
black
no
Air Force
bird.
One?
They were worse than their
Nah.
black one.
I stayed away from niggas who wore them Birdman lugs. I know
Oh,
you
okay.
niggas.
So lugs,
And
I
know
was
you-
I mentioned
I
this
know
somebody
you
earlier.
niggas.
Lugs was cool.
Y'all didn't
Y'all
have lugs.
niggas-
Anybody had a pair of
I
lugs?
had a couple
Lugs
pairs.
was
I had a
cool.
pair of lugs.
When we had to wear
Birdman
uniform,
I
they
had
had
the
some
wheat
decent-
ones.
Yeah,
The
I remember.
wheat ones.
I tried to be different and get the B boots. Yeah.
Had some Buffalinos.
Some
I did too.
Buffalino. They know about the Buffalino, bro.
Hey, I got mine from Fresh Image in Canterbury.
Bro, I
Shout
might
out.
have-
You know they closed that store down.
Really?
Yeah, not too
Damn.
long ago, man.
Damn.
Fresh Image, they closed that shit down. But I got a pair of
Buffalinos.
Got me some Buffalinos.
Bro, I had my
Cause the
mama
boost
pressed.
is taking over, man. You gotta get up with a scam.
Y'all ain't had no Oshkosh Bagosh though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I was
Y'all
like
ain't had no-
5,
Yeah,
nigga.
that's like a taller outfit with your overalls.
Overall was lit, boy.
Left your Paco
You-
jeans and shit with
The
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 wallet.
overalls was lit. The y'all
You were never in high school with no Oshkosh.
You weren't wearing
I-
Oshkosh, but
Not in high school,
Nah.
but shit. If they had some fly shit, I would have worn.
Bro,
had
we
to
used
pipe
to
that
get
blue
some
bubbles.
shit off.
Nah, we was wearing
Fat
Nietzsche and
Farm,
not realizing it
Echo.
was pronounced
NYC.
NYC.
Classic.
No, it's a Nietzsche.
It's a Nietzsche to me too.
I-
Jabos.
I was today
A
years
Nietzsche.
old.
You didn't know that?
No.
NYC?
It was
you know,
just-
it
It's what?
It's
NYC.
pronounced NYC. It's not a Nietzsche.
He was today years old too.
Get the
It's
fuck
been
outta
a
here, right?
It's been a
Chicago
Nietzsche
niggas.
NYC.
my whole
Yeah.
life.
Yep,
Nope.
NYC.
Is that how you saying it this whole time?
Hey,
Hell
when
no.
I learned,
I reject that.
It's
I knew before
a
y'all.
Nietzsche. A Nietzsche.
I reject
I
that.
just
It's a
learned,
Nietzsche.
I just
I do
learned
not
that like
receive.
a year ago.
No, it's
But
NYC.
I was today
But
years
yeah,
old.
but you know, I'm gonna tell you something else. When we were in school, we didn't know who the have and have nots were. Now you know in this school, that you know in this time who the
Yeah.
have and have nots.
Not really.
They
but you
know
had
too
an idea.
damn much for their age.
But it wasn't obvious.
If you had a nice car, you came to high school senior year with a car with rims on it.
Okay.
Like, okay, you doing something.
But I'm talking about just the
Have
shit
a
you
car
see
in
in the
general.
class and I'm talking about the shit you can see in just up and down the hallways.
Just they
you got
clothes.
one kid standing here with some designer from head to toe. And then you got another kid who you can tell at home they just making it.
Right.
And then you got the kid that's right there in the middle. Their parents got them some Jordans, but they ain't like, they not the $200 joints.
We kind of had that too.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
People wearing the Dragon Ball Z shirts, and then you had the kids who wore the designer shit.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
but it was also more affordable back then too. hey,
Hey,
the
that's
Ralph
what you rocking
Lauren
with.
Dragon Ball Z kids.
and then in the middle you had USPA
And the US Polo Association.
the United States Polo Assassin.
I used to avoid that shit like the plague. Like I cannot.
And then the step below USPA was Beverly Hills. I was like,
Hey,
oh,
Beverly Hills Polo Club.
Hey man, listen,
I was an Echo in South Pole. Had a run.
whatever Hill
Go to
Crest.
whatever was at
These
Marshalls
these
in Burlington.
expensive C's. Y'all don't know what it's like to put on cheap clothing, to put on Marshalls and.
Yeah, what you mean? That's what I'm talking about.
No, we
It's
come
at
from that area.
Burlington.
That's why
Oh,
we
yeah,
humble.
Burlington.
These guys,
TJ Maxx.
these guys are in. Do they have you
Marshalls?
seen a pair of
Maxx still
Balenciagas
got
in
some
in the hallways?
Boy, I watched the kid buy some. I ain't
Bal-
gonna tell you how he
so-
bought it,
so
but I saw
Balenciagas,
it.
right?
Oh no, they were Burberrys.
Burberry's
They were
in
Burberry.
school.
Yeah,
In school.
and they wearing them like treat them like black.
That's why the
ones.
teachers get. Nah, see, that's not.
But the crazy, you talk about Dragon Ball Z shirts. I wasn't gonna do that in high school because we was gonna roast.
Yeah.
But I do that
Well,
shit now.
because
I'm
you know how
grown.
freaky
Wait,
anime girls are.
not the button up with
Or
the collar.
just,
you know how
No,
freaky.
you talking about the ninja shirt.
You wouldn't get the right
samurai.
What he
I'm
talking about?
about the button up with the
Oh,
collar.
yo,
button up Dragon Ball
he
Z
talking
with the
about
color.
he talking
The
about
samurai
the
joint.
kimono
It was like-
type shit.
Hey, Halloween
It was all
is
satin
coming
and
up.
shit.
Shout
What's
out to
that
Freddie.
joint?
That's the nigga that
Look with a dragon,
do some
This
jitsu.
a big
motherfucking
dragon?
coming across the
You know
stomach.
who wore that shit? I
Shut
ain't
up.
gonna, I ain't gonna bring him up, but you know who wore that
Hey,
shit.
yo.
I know exactly who it was.
I just saw
Hey,
him.
you been
glasses.
shooting all pod.
I just saw him.
He been
I
shooting.
know
You did?
Yep.
Y'all
like a
been
week ago.
shooting. Leave it.
Really?
Leave that
How
man
you
alone.
recognize him? He look the same?
I tell y'all off the
Y'all
That's
funny.
wild.
off the whatever.
That's
boy.
wild.
But you know though, man,
Y'all see. They was bullies, man.
I wasn't.
I wasn't.
I
wasn't.
was probably junior year to the end of school, but
The more you know, man. Listen, I think I like that for me. Like I gave everybody a chance, despite how you may have looked, because I didn't look. My shit at the crib wasn't all that great. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, that's why it was easy for us to get through school. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was easier for us to like go through what we went through, because everybody for the most part looked the same. Everybody, it wasn't a big thing. Everybody wasn't buying shoes every fucking week. Mm-mm. Now these kids is doing whatever the fuck they want to do. I don't ask questions on where they get their money from. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if I know, I don't want to look at you or your home situation any different. I want to just see you for what I know you as. Yeah. I made a joke about kids wearing those Reebok Soldiers, and we talked about the K-Swiss and all that. But that's what's present day right now is what they're judged by. They're judged by on what they wear. They're judged by, the people they hang around. And that's why it's important for us to be a part of what they're doing so we can teach them and show them a different way. Like, we ain't going to be able to say to this one kid that's coming Montclair down with the coat, the purple jeans, the whatever shoe they wearing, you know what I'm saying? The shit that don't make sense to us makes sense to them. And who's to say that, those same kids, it's because it's high fashion for them now.
They be a creator somewhere, fashion designer.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is I'm speaking on the kid that's wearing the Montclairs and the Amiris and whatever shoe it is that they're wearing. That ain't no different from us wearing Jabos on a Friday, wearing some fresh white ones or shell toes at that time, a fresh white T-shirt that we got the
Jacob
biggest
watches.
The price difference is.
Jacob watches and all that shit wasn't real.
But also cost of living has changed.
Yeah,
From
facts.
when it was
Y'all,
then.
you in the school.
I'm there.
You seen how they going overboard on
Yeah,
proms.
but who's to say, okay, if we want to talk about going overboard, I drove an Escalade when they first came out. Okay, I drove a white Escalade that was sitting on 20s or 22s at the time, gold and silver trim. Okay, maybe that may have been a bit much because some people was driving their parents' car to prom, or they were taking a limo or some shit. Some kids didn't even fucking go because they couldn't afford it, you know. And now you look at it today, we got kids, you know, whose parents are just getting by, and you can see by how they dress that, you know, your people just scraping by. And then you got other kids who may low key be just scraping by at home, but they just wear it different. You know what I'm saying? So, in regards to how these kids treat each other, we got to make sure that we also show them a different way as well from that. Because, again, you know, what Ethan and I just did, you know, I mean, we can laugh about it now, you know, and of course we know the same person that we're speaking of, but we don't know, hey, he may have liked that type of shit.
No, he did.
And that's perfect. And you know what? That's perfectly fine.
I didn't make fun of him back then for it. I wouldn't do it now, but
you just look back. But
look back at it like it's wild.
But props to that man because he
stayed
had no confidence in himself. Like I'm rocking this because this is what I like.
Yeah, and
you know
now you got and now God forbid you got a bunch of kids that'll have their phones out. Yeah. You know.
And make fun of
shoes.
Yeah.
Make fun
of you know, they're looking at his shoes
like,
and they look a little beat up. Exactly. Yeah. Or you looking at his shirt, you looking at his or her hair or some shit. Yeah. And now we've embarrassed this kid. And for what? Man. Because kids have since the beginning of time have been bullies.
Yeah,
but I feel like
been
shit
bullies.
Is worse.
We did bully people pretty bad in high school. I didn't do it so bad, but
I didn't do it at all.
I saw it.
Yeah, I ain't bully nobody.
I wasn't in position to be a bully.
I just walked through people in the hallway. It wasn't like no bully shit. Just like
I wasn't in position to be because, like I said, I knew what my home situation was like. So my home life didn't afford me to be that, but I also was raised different. And so and I'm not knocking you or anything like that. I just know, for me, like I said, none of us knew what we were going through once we left Hillcrest. Somebody was going home, and I'm about to get real. I'm about to get super real, and it might get a little dark.
I'm mad at your camera now, right?
Nah, it's cool.
I'm annoyed right now.
But some girl gotta go home to some shit that she don't want to deal with, and so she not looking pretty on purpose. Because she don't want to be, or she's mean as fuck to us for some reason. Because she don't want our attention. Because she know when she go home, she gotta go deal with some shit.
Right.
That happened then. It's happening now. You got some kid, some boy that we were probably dealing with and was like, "This, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga?" But then he get home and his dad then slammed a few beers after work, and now he doing whatever, he putting his hands on them somehow, some way. So in order for this kid to decompress, he got to treat us like shit because he being treated like shit at home. These aren't things we think about at that age, and they don't think about it now. But I make it my responsibility for these kids, for my kids to know. And I actually tell some of my kids who I can trust that, hey, I don't even have to say what they got going on. Hey, put your arm around that kid. Just keep him close to you. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all may strike up a friendship, and he may be the person that he calls or she calls to vent to. Because again,
home life could be.
We don't know what the fuck they got going on. Yeah. I've had to understand that some of my kids have to work because they have to work. You know what I'm saying? And they're not working because they want to go buy new clothes and the next pair of Jordans or New Balances or whatever the shoe is that they want. No, they got to help their mom and dad or whomever feed the house because they're the oldest or second oldest of like 7 fucking kids.
Yeah.
You feel me?
There was one kid in our class that went through that, getting bullied a lot. Actually got bullied. Like, when I say bully, I didn't really bully people like that. Like not like actually like tearing their character down and all that. I mean like walking through their ass in the hallway. But this particular kid got bullied a lot in high school, and y'all know him still to this day. Y'all see him on social media talking about how well he's doing right now with the real estate and whatnot.
Keep going.
I don't know nobody.
With the real estate and all that, right?
I don't know who you're talking about. Keep going.
Me neither.
But little did people know, he told me when he was younger, he was like, yeah, my dad got killed in front of me, right? And if he watching this, he might But like, okay, you talking about me? But they got killed in front of him.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And people didn't know that in high school, so they kind of just treated him like, because, you know, he dressed a certain way, didn't really care about all that stuff. But he was probably the only man in the household with his mom, you know. Basically, you know, and we didn't see it that way back then.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older, I'm like, you know, yeah, he went through a lot. And that kind of made him into who he is now.
Yeah,
you know?
and people, so what, here's the problem. We, you know, we're all guilty of this at some point of our lives. But I feel like in those critical times in our lives at that age, we don't know, we project our trauma on other people as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And in some cases, they, you know, they go home and deal what they deal with, and then they come to school and they deal with our shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They deal with our shit. And that's not right. Yeah. It's not fair. And I see what these kids are dealing with now. Yeah. And so that's why I say I make it my business to say, look, I need to know what's going on with you. Because at the end of the day, I need to know that when you leave here, you're safe. And if you're not safe, let's talk about it. Yeah. I don't know what I can personally do for you, but if there's something that I can offer, a word of encouragement, a resource, anything like that, then I want to make sure that I do that for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like I keep referring to coaching, but this shit bigger than that. Mm-hmm. That's just my tool to help whatever situation is going on in that community. I got into coaching because of I saw something I didn't like.
That's real.
I saw something happen on the football field that I didn't like. And Coach Weaver's wife, Tiana, is the reason I'm in coaching. Yeah. She didn't specifically say go into coaching. She simply just asked me a question. What are you going to do about it? I didn't realize it was going to be. I didn't realize it was going to be coaching though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it turned into. And so always take that opportunity to where if you see a problem, don't talk about the problem, because all you're doing is spreading the rumor, or you're spreading the problem even more. Yep. If you're going to talk about a problem, have a solution behind it.
Take some action.
Yeah. You know, so if we want better, we got to show better, we got to do better, and we got to ask these kids what it is that they need so we can support them. And we got to stop treating them like little dumb, badass kids, because they're not dumb and they're not bad. They're misguided because they don't know no better. Yeah. If you give these kids that time, I guarantee you can turn a kid from a 2.7 GPA to a 3.8. You can take a kid who didn't think that somebody cared enough about his English grade to where when he gets his grades back, he's sending you and this ain't even one of my players. Yeah. This is just a kid that I met along the way.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And and his dad was one of our schoolmates. You feel me? So when he sends me his grades, or he asks me questions on how to fill out a job application, will I be his reference to, hey, coach, you know, I got this going on. Can you help me with this? It's just one kid, but it's hundreds of us, and it's hundreds of them. And there's more of us than there are of them, and we ain't going to be able to reach every single one of them kids. Hell, I wish I could get every single kid to play at Noah Walls or Daquan Dennis's level on the baseball field. But I want them to be those type of people off the field. And for the most part, I'm blessed to say that I got that. Yeah. I don't want to get those calls from teachers, and I don't want to get calls from other players and other kids and hear shit about my kids specifically, and they not doing right. You know what I'm saying? And so when I hear about kids being talked down to, you ever thought about going into this kid's world and seeing why it is the way it is? Because if you ain't brave enough to step into his or her shoes, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Like, straight like that.
Straight like that. Yeah. If you're not brave enough, and this is for adults too, if you're not brave enough to take off your perfect shoes, because our shit is so perfect, to go step into what this kid dealing with for 5 fucking minutes, you probably wouldn't last. Yeah. So this is why we can't keep sitting back and watching the problem get bigger and bigger, and we just gonna keep talking about it because it's never gonna change. Right. Again, I saw some shit that I didn't like. I didn't realize that 3 years later this would be some shit I'm on this show talking about. Right. You know, I didn't want to come on y'all platform and tap into this the way that I am. You know what I'm saying? But this is important because, again, the platform that you all have is going to reach those people that it needs to reach. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And they need to hear from their own. But they also need to see the success of their own as well. Yeah. You know, to see that we made it. We got classmates that's struggling. We got classmates that aren't doing as well as they would like. We have some that are probably successful in the pocketbook, but they live shit lives and they're not happy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But then you also have those who are looking. You also have those who are looking for ways to help, but don't know don't have the resources. They don't know how to reach out. Yeah. So I'm just like, why can't we just use this opportunity to say, let's fix this one brick at a time?
Yeah. Like you said, reach one, teach one. Yeah. For sure. Man, I appreciate you diving in like that because it is needed. It's needed, and it's refreshing to see your, I would say, like your passion for it. You know what I mean? Because we know that it's, like you said, it's teachers that don't give a fuck. Or it's coaches that they just there, they're going to get the check. They ain't really going to step into, you know, those kids' lives. So it's good to see, man. Salute to you, for sure.
I appreciate that, man.
For sure.
Like I said, I just, you know, like I said, I didn't come here this evening to tap into it the way that I did because, again, you know, this is a space where, you know, I've watched y'all show. I know what type of content y'all get into. It can be informative. It can be funny. Yeah. It can be whatever you guys want it to be. But this is an opportunity for us as classmates, members of that community. Mm-hmm. We're family. Yep. This is that Hawk way that I talk about. It's alma mater, community, and family. We all three of those. Yep. That's once you graduate and once you cross that stage and they turn your tassel, you are officially a Hillcrest alum, whether you like it or not. But what you do with it post-grad, that says a lot more about what you've decided to do with your time. Ain't no money involved. I mean, it's a lot of money involved in this, but I don't count how much I've spent. Right. I think about those moments where I've had great times where, you know, it feels good when you walk into those bleachers and you're being received by your peers and you're being received by the kids that you're influencing. And so now I'm here with you all just putting this out to the mass and challenging folks. Like, you know, I'm going to challenge y'all. Yeah. You know, like, come out. Just see what these kids got to offer. Again, you can't save every single kid. But at the end of the day, there's one kid that's looking for you. There's somebody that's out here that needs whatever it is you have to offer, and they're willing to sit down and listen if you give them a reason to do so. Yeah. Other than that, man,
I'm going to definitely pull up, man. I'll pull up to a game.
You should,
for
man.
For sure.
Hillcrest football games are pretty fun. They're pushing for the playoffs right now. I know next week they'll be at home against Eisenhower. So, you know, if y'all
check that out. Check out the Eisenhower game.
Yeah, Eisenhower's got a pretty good player. His name is Andre Levitt. He's going to Illinois next year.
Heard that name before.
He going to U of I?
He going to U of I next year.
Heard the name before.
But we got a dog too, and his name is Aramis Wright. And then we got another dog named JoJo Kennerson. And then we got another dog named DJ Streeter. We got dogs all over the place. Yeah. You feel me? And we led by some bigger dogs, man. So, yeah, just like I said, my challenge to all of you guys is to come up and show up for your kids, man. Because y'all know they parents, and y'all would want somebody to do that same shit for y'all kids as well.
Hell yeah. I ain't got none yet, but
no, I don't.
One of these days.
I do like this platform because celebrities have a platform where they get to spew bullshit or market things for dollars, but we get to actually celebrate people in the community affecting change. Yep. Like he started out earlier saying he could have took a job at a more at a winning program, but it's I had it in my head, but it's something over progress. It's just like his presence and how he can affect change in his community that's bearing more fruit from the tree than possibly would have been if he just worried about winning. So you never know. Like he said, just come out and do what action can beget another action. And so with this platform, we want to treat you like a celebrity that you are,
yes, sir.
because in the
Appreciate it,
community,
man.
Coach
you
Will.
helping with these kids, and you being motivation for us to say, what could I do to give back as well? Because we alumni as well. So I definitely like to give you your flowers and to big you up and let you know that you are important in our eyes and whoever
Appreciate
else
it,
is
man.
viewing this
Yes,
in
sir.
them kids' eyes. So
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you sharing them stories, because like shit, it could be a 6-hour pod as long as you passionate and somebody's listening. Then it needed to be said, because people in your position, the teachers, the influencers, the people that's pushing forward the youth, don't have the platform to speak or vent about things that's important to them until it's election time, until it's something political. But to sit down with your guys 20 plus years,
Yeah,
and
man.
I hear how it's going through, how it's affecting those kids' name, the dogs, and it's just real good for me personally. So I just want to tell you, appreciate you for that.
Yeah, man, no problem. And like I said, I appreciate y'all for just, like I said, I was honored to get the invite. You know what I'm saying? Because I admire what you guys are doing, and I really am you all's. I'm gonna stand on this and say it. I mean, our biggest fan.
Appreciate
Excuse
it,
me,
man.
like I said, if I'm gonna get fanned out over anybody, it's gonna be my people. You know what I'm saying? So no, congratulations to all your current and future success. And man, just make sure whatever y'all need from me, y'all just reach out, man. Cause at the end of the day, it's like we've been saying, each one teach one. But more so than anything, I just want to just support y'all.
Appreciate
I want to
it.
do whatever it takes to help this, to help this show, get to the heights that it's destined to get to. You know what I mean? And so,
Appreciate that.
yeah, man. So keep it going.
Should have did this in the beginning, but drop your app for the people, where they can find you online.
Yes,
if
sir.
they
That's
have
all
some-
good. You can find me on Instagram. That's probably the best. That's the least personable social media platform, and that's Coach_Bearded1, the number 1 on Instagram. Don't follow me on Facebook. That's where I know people at. So we'll stick to the Instagram. But
That's real.
also make sure you all follow. Follow the Black Baseball Media at Black Baseball Media. Follow us. We've got a lot of great things going on for the community of baseball, in particular for Black and Brown. In January, we will be having the Chicago Baseball Classic Media Day. And so that's where we're going to have 6 schools in April competing at Ozinga for baseball supremacy. We have coined it the Super Bowl of high school baseball. We want to get it to the level. We will get it to the level of the Prep Bowl for football and the top basketball games in high school basketball.
That's dope.
We're gonna make it baseball in the inner city. We're gonna make it important. So shout out to Homewood, Flossmoor, and Rich Township for being the suburban representatives for this classic, and everybody knows that I am rooting for them no matter who they're playing, whether they win, lose, or draw. I'm representing the South Suburbs all day long. So follow Black Baseball Media at Black Baseball Media, and then also follow if you want to know what's going on with anything Hillcrest related. Follow Hillcrest Baseball, follow Hillcrest Basketball and football as well, baseball, all of our sports. And just make sure that you guys drop in and support all of these kids, because, again, not all of these kids are going down the wrong path. Yeah. And if you guys can just go out there and make sure that you're supportive to what these guys are doing on the field, and more importantly, letting these coaches know that their work in the community isn't going without notice, I greatly appreciate if y'all do that for them as well, because these are being led by alums.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These are our people, so just make sure that y'all support them as well. And that's it.
Facts. Dope. Appreciate you, man. Hey, you tapped in, you connected, you a plug, man. So,
oh man,
you know what I'm saying? So,
oh shit,
Plugged in.
Yeah.
We've been doing this we've been at this a while, man. I was trying my best to keep just to stay going, man. But no, seriously, this was like an effortless moment.
Yeah,
this
man,
was fun.
One take drink.
It's fun. Yeah, it's dope. man, however we can support, let us know. The people out there, don't forget to follow. IG Meet the Plug. YouTube is what Plugged In TV.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, all that. Just trying to keep
Is
it
this
going,
y'all
man.
longest show?
Hell yeah.
God
Hell
damn.
yeah.
Yeah,
Boy.
You guys over here.
long-winded. You should have been a swimmer.
Listen, y'all gonna have to break
Yeah.
this. Y'all gonna have to break this shit up in 2 seconds.
I was just mad you ain't got your up close. I'm like,
It's all good,
Man.
man. My ugly ass done burned through the camera battery, man.
nah, you good.
It's
Where's
cool.
It's all good.
We got
where's
backups.
Lil Muff at? Somewhere.
Finna get deduced.
Man.
Not deduced. Don't do that to him, man.
But appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
you know,
you
it's
guys.
all love for sure.
Absolutely.
Looking forward for the next couple of years. We got that reunion coming up, so we'll
Yeah.
see what it do.
When I say
Get
hill,
to the drawing
you say
board.
crest.
Yeah, hey, I used to be able to hear that.
Yep.
I used to hear that just in my bedroom. They used to be snapping.
Hill crest.
Shout out Will Crook on the drums, man.
Yeah, man. Shout
Yo.
out to the alma mater, man. But shout out to
sure.
my classmates.
For sure. Hope y'all all doing well. Again, every day above ground is a good one. Y'all hold y'all head. Reach one, teach one. And until the next one, peace. Peace.